You are live. The stream is live, everyone. How are we all doing? So, I'm going to get it up, I think, on here as well so that I can keep up with the chat. Adam, are you going live over on yours as well?
Me? No.
Have you cancelled that?
That's gone. That's gone. That shouldn't be there.
There we go. Right, I've got the chat now. Start a Q&A. Oh, I can do a Q&A on here and everything, can't I? Ideal. Okay, cool. That's good. Well, I'm guessing, should we wait for a couple of people? We've got JT, Keeping Fish is already in here.
Fantastic.
We've got the 12th Doctor. We've got Naturalscapes UK. How we doing? Lancashire Aquarium. There's a few people already turning up. My chair is really creaky. Ben's Hobby Stuff. Hey, how we doing?
Whoa.
Lancashire Aquarium.
Adam.
Who's got their sound on?
Yeah, who's got their sound on? Come on, lads.
I can hear that. Yeah, we're a professional enterprise here. Someone letting the team down.
I'm surprised you've got good enough signal from the Amazon to stream on two devices.
How you doing, James? Climbing,
Well, I've got
Trevor,
Prime,
Scooby.
fair enough, I know.
How we all doing, guys?
And James the Koi Whisperer as well.
Everyone in here. Final tank boss.
Evening, everybody.
I was just going to say, oh, Somerset Shrimp Shack. I know he's here. He's already here. Oh dear, I love it. Oh, I've got.
How you doing?
I need to change it as well so that some of you guys are actual moderators, aren't they?
I'm still a moderator, I think.
Yeah, I think you are, and there's a couple other people that is, but it probably makes sense to have the people that are actually in the live as moderators as well.
You'd think so, wouldn't you?
You would, but that's fine. Does the job, doesn't it? Does the job. There we go. Right, okay, so, well, we've got 83 people watching, so I'm quite happy that we... Isn't Matt always loud? Absolutely, Matt is always loud. My family hates me for it. And then I get comments from some of my videos where you're like, you speak too softly and quietly. Can't win. Can't win. Cannot win. There we go.
Off.
So what is everyone up to, or what has everyone been up to this week? I'm going last because I don't need to go first. I'm tired of today already. That's good.
First?
Great. Who's going? Right, I'm going to say it. AH from your holiday home.
Yeah. So yeah, I've been obviously busy getting my water changes and everything done, freaking out about who's going to feed my fish while I'm away. So yeah, I'm away for a week at the moment. So I've measured all my food out and I've hidden all the food pots because you can never be too sure what people are going to do.
Oh yeah, 100%. People are a nightmare. They're still hungry.
Yeah. So I've got one tank with an auto feeder on, so I can keep an eye on that one. But all the other ones are I'm relying on a friend to do that. So fingers crossed, everything will be good. But you never know.
Someone's just asked in the chat, Adam, as well, if everyone could do an intro. Obviously, I'm Fish Shop Matt. Hi, everyone. Hopefully, because this is live streamed on my channel, you know who I am. But if everyone, while they're saying what they've been up to this week, if everyone could do a slight intro, Adam, and I was aimed at Adam 7. Slight intro. So, AH, let's have an intro from you.
Okay, so I'm Adam. Obviously, AH Aquatics is my channel. So I was first in the fish keeping hobby around, I don't know, nearly 20 years ago. Then I quit and I've come back to it about 2 years ago. Obviously met a great group of people, started a YouTube channel, and this is sort of my journey back into the fish keeping hobby.
Excellent. No, beautifully put. Also, my live stream on my computer is like 10 seconds behind this and it keeps freaking me out. Matt's beard is AI generated. You cannot get this sort of mess from AI. AI is definitely not quite at the level of my beard yet.
Michael's
is absolutely, yeah. Michael, we'll introduce everyone in the chat to Michael in a minute. I think that's definitely worthwhile. Do not ask AI to make your thumbnails, people. I guarantee you'll be able to tell if they've made my thumbnail. Go on then, Jay. What have you been up to this week? What's happening?
Not too much, really. So, sort of, hello, everybody. I'm Jay. Run a channel called, I better start there, hadn't I?
Yeah, that's probably a good idea.
Called Aquatics over TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, and yeah, not too much going on, really. Last couple of days, I've been doing my new pond build, which has been very stressful. Very, very stressful.
Why is it stressful?
Because the electrics were a disaster. So I had to get somebody to come and rewire the electrics because the electrics were not great. So the outdoor electrics took 4 hours to rewire. So that already ate up most of the day on Sunday. So that I was rushing to get the video done at the same time as getting the pond done. That then carried into Monday, and it took all day Monday. But yeah, all done. The video is out now. So
I did just see that you've released that. So
yeah, I stayed up way too late last night. I was absolutely like head on the keyboard this morning, but yeah, it's worth it.
Yeah, no, it's good, isn't it? Oh, that's fair. That's fair. Okay.
Yeah.
Right then, Adam 7. Go on.
Well,
Brief.
my name's Adam, another Adam. Actually, no, that's Harry Kane. I'm Adam. So yeah, I've been making fish keeping content for almost the past 2 years. Started my channel when I was off work ill. Been in the hobby for near enough
That's it.
6 years. And what have I been up to this weekend? I've been
What day are we on now? We're Tuesday, it's fine.
Yeah, anyways. Set up a shrimp tank and it is cloudy as hell, but it's looking good. Yeah.
I forgot most of you, other than AH, who decided to go on holiday, disappointed. Most of you, we were at Berkeley Aquatics, weren't we?
Berkeley.
Yeah.
Berkeley.
Berkeley.
Yeah.
Berkeley.
Berkeley.
It was a good day, though.
I can't remember what they said, and I asked them how to pronounce it. It was a lovely day. It was a great couple of days, to be fair. Matt playing with the dad.
Skates gave me free advertising all day.
Yeah, Adam did walk around the entire day with Somerset Shrimp Shack sticker on his back. Yeah. So did a lot of other people, to be fair, though.
Yeah, he sticker bombed everyone. The beep.
Just pure promotion all
Yeah.
day.
That's it.
That was the goal. That was the goal for him.
Legend.
Making
That was
sure
funny.
everybody left with a little souvenir.
Yeah. Yeah. All right then. Somerset Shrimp Shack. What's your name and where do you come from?
Hello, my name is Em. I am also called Somerset Shrimp Shack. Those of you that know me, hello. Those of you that don't know me, I've been in the hobby for about 12 years. Recently, I moved more over to shrimp from fish. I've been enjoying it quite a lot. I'm on TikTok more than anywhere else, but I've started branching out onto YouTube. And as Natural Escapes just said, you can't trust me at all. If you see me in person, check your back for a Somerset Shrimp Shack sticker because you probably got one on you.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that is what happens, to be fair. Yeah. All right, well, that's everyone introduced, I guess. We have got a possible well, no, should we announce or should we leave it and see it?
Let's announce it.
Are we just going to go with it?
people.
Should
There's
We're
enough
going to
people.
go with it. If he turns up, he turns up, but he's one of us, so
He is one of us. So we have added to the group more when we start doing challenges and things like that and extra videos, it's going to help because currently the Southerners are outnumbered by the Northerners. So Adam and Jay are from up north, and me and Ems are from the south. So we have invited Mr. Alex B. Aquatics, Blackwater extraordinaire, and Practical Fish Keeping magazine editor to be a sixth wheel, should we call it that? like a G-Wagon. So he may be on at some point, but congratulations to Alex because he does have a very small baby. So yes, he has to take care of family first. So hopefully we may see him at some point during this live. I will have to keep an eye on if he tries to join, so I will keep an eye on that. But yeah, so hopefully going forward, we're going to have a little bit more, maybe some North versus South challenges, maybe some, I don't know, we've got lots of plans, haven't we, really? I wouldn't say they're plans, actually, because we can't plan, we could hardly plan this, to be fair.
They're brainstorming ideas.
They are ideas that are ready to go. So obviously, if you see any of us, if you hear of us talking about anything and you think there's something exciting or something interesting that we should know about or you think we should do, then obviously drop it down. Maybe not in this comment section because this might get lost, but certainly try and catch us where we're on a post on another social media. Mr. G is in the chat as well.
Mr. G has just put in the chat, has Olive got a squeaker?
Yes.
Yes. She's literally right there. I'm trying to keep it away from her to stop her from interrupting people.
Natural Scapes has just said, if Em is going, I'm not coming.
Yeah, fair. I feel very similar, to be honest. I do feel very similar. No, I do like it. So yeah, exciting times. We've got some stuff coming up. For me, I haven't said what I've been up to. So Monday, I spent trying to recover from a mental weekend. Tuesday is today, and I tried to recover and tried to get some things done. And I moved like 2 fish tanks, and then that just finished. And now I'm here. And now I really haven't got much done other than there being a drain down fish tank. No, you can't see it. It's sort of just over my shoulder, which smells quite tanky because it's full of aqua soil, and I didn't drain the aqua soil out. So yeah, other than that, I have not been up to much. I'm hoping to get some, try and get some stuff done tomorrow. We'll see how we get on tomorrow. Fingers crossed it is better. M's in the nightclub. So what did, obviously, if anyone wants any topics covering, just as Somerset Shrimp Shack has said in the chat, obviously drop them in and we may discuss them. But one thing that came up at the event was a bit of a controversial subject, really, wasn't it? And that is cycling tanks.
Absolutely.
Ooh. Yeah, I don't want to take it, if I'm honest. I'll let someone else go out on their limb if they want to.
Well, look,
who's brave enough?
Right, cycling tanks, it's so variable depending on what your situation is, what you got available to you, because you could easily say to everyone, you've got to go down the whole traditional route of wait 6 to 8 weeks, test for your ammonia nitrite and nitrate, and once you've got only nitrate, you're cycled. But you've got things now like your goop, which speeds it up. But then if you keep in shrimp and you've got an active substrate, well, that stuff sometimes leaches ammonia for maybe 4 to 6 weeks, and that slows down your cycling process. So it all depends. There's not really any specific right way of doing it or a wrong way of doing it. Personally, my view on it is that I'm not a massive advocate of fish in cycles because I just don't believe in the putting a fish through that if you don't need to. But however, depending on the chemicals you're using and what you got available to you, it can work as well. So it's a hot topic for sure.
I found it a very difficult topic to question. Like you say, I think the problem comes is when beginners are coming into the hobby and there are ways of doing it that can help them and make it seem very simple, and then there are ways that overcomplicate it and it just causes problems. The amount of times I used to have customers coming into the shop where they would they'd be dosing like ammonia, and 6 weeks on, they're like, I've still got ammonia. Yeah, okay, so you need to stop. Like, you need to let the cycle happen. Something needs to trigger and work through. And yeah, it can be a very difficult subject. But since using, like, obviously I use Optimus and Satis in all of my tanks. Since using that stuff, I'll be honest, it's so quick and so easy to deal with. And like I said to Claire when we were at the Scaping event, like, to be fair, like, if you just ask your local shop, if your local shop is a nice local shop, they'll chuck a bag of Biomedia in the bottom of one of their tanks for you for a week or so, get it a little bit mature, get some media going, and then away you go. Like, I think it is, there are some people out there that do want to be quite above people, don't they? They want to make everyone seem small. And I want to bring more people into this hobby, because that is the only way that this hobby grows and succeeds, is by having more people in. And if we scare beginners off because you've got to dose this for 8 weeks and you can't touch this and you can't do that and you've got to start with no lights on and this and that, and then they just go, no, I'm not doing it.
I think it's all about just do your research on what you're going to keep and know what your cycling options are for that. So like if you're doing fish, if you can get some, like Matt was saying, if you can get some cycled media, you can basically cut that amount of time you got to wait down by like 75% getting some cycled media. If you're going to keep shrimp, it might take you a little bit longer just because of the nature of shrimp and how sensitive they are, and then getting your algae walls mature in a tank, etc. And then again, like if you're doing Caridina, it's a bit longer again, just purely because of the soil. But doing that bit of research, you're not bound, I'd say, in this day and age where we are now with the hobby and what we know as a hobby collectively, you're not bound to that 6 to 8 weeks. But it is always worth knowing the fundamental 6 to 8 weeks of a traditional cycle, because that is your bread and butter at the end of the day.
Yeah.
I think from like my experience, I like setting up a tank, like having the tank set up for like minimum to a week to 2 weeks. Like you said, with shrimp and more sensitive species, you let it run longer, especially if you've got algae eaters too. You want to make sure that there's biofilm developing and stuff like that. But again, that's just the maturity of a tank. That isn't the actual cycle. Like Matt said, using Optimus and Satis, from my experience, products like that in the modern day, the hobby, it makes it a lot quicker and easier to have a tank a bit more ready to have a couple fish in. It's not saying that, oh, use Optimus Satis, then whack 100 fish and then like the same day. That's not the case. Add like a small amount and then gradually build up, and then you'll probably have the best success that way.
Jay, other Adam, anything to add on our first subject of the evening?
Yeah, I think it's one of them, isn't it? Beginners, when you first come into the hobby, I remember when I first got into the hobby, and when you go online and try and find out how to cycle a tank, there are so many different people saying different things with different opinions, and it's really daunting. And I think to be able to, oh dear, he's not even noticed, has he? That's diabolical.
Oh dear. Oh no.
Oh, he's replicating it. He's replicating it.
Next level.
I cannot believe the fact you've got my face on your shirt right now.
Where can I buy one of them?
Matt, are you able to zoom in on that? Click on M.
How do I make him the biggest? That is absolutely amazing. Like, I don't know if I can. Oh no, that's the wrong button. Hang on, go back to that one.
He's done that and said nothing.
Oh my word.
Oh, that is a beaut. That is
Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant.
A good promo for Moss UK, by the way, in the background of that as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
Moss is buzzing.
Yeah, Moss is having a ball. Great promo.
It looks like you're having a nightmare, Adam.
Well, I was. The live crashed last time, didn't it? My phone died.
So if anyone, obviously there wasn't this many people in the live when we done our test run over on your channel, but that face that you see on Ems's t-shirt there was Adam Seven's face for a good few minutes, because the live crashed and that was what the last picture was. So it literally stayed there while we were all chatting away about fish keeping. That was the picture we had of Adam.
I'm trying not to laugh too much because I feel like he's got another shirt on under that. Maybe like multiple layers.
Can you imagine another one?
Yeah.
And another one.
Oh,
Adam
dear.
actually had a Biomedia shirt on before.
Yeah.
No, I didn't. I don't.
He took it off. He took it off.
Oh dear. So Jay, going back to your cycling experience, not in the bicycle sense.
Why not the bicycle sense?
Let's talk about cycling. Welcome to Bike Shop Matt. We are...
Well, road bicycles. How
Oh,
fantastic.
right. Hang on. How do I kick that? How do I kick Jay out?
Pedal? How do you reach the
Serious
pedal?
question. Serious question. How do people ride a road bike? It's the wheels are like that.
Yeah, no, I can. I need a wide tire. I feel
It's
like I'm.
aerodynamics and things like
Yeah.
that. Was, yeah. Quite
No,
anyway.
yeah. Anyway, cycling.
Yeah, so when you first get into the hobby, I feel like it's daunting for anybody. So there's so much information out there, and I know there's various Facebook groups, there's various websites, and every single source of information that you look at on the internet will give you a different answer. There's some people that prefer fish-in cycling, there's some people that advise against fish-in cycling, and it can be really daunting. And I feel like everybody kind of has their own way of cycling. I know that that's maybe different for somebody that's got multiple tanks, that's setting up a new tank and can use already established media, to somebody that's setting up their first tank for the first time. It's not comparable unless you've already been in touch with your local fish store. But there's so many, it is a minefield. There's so many different things and so many different resources out there that I think it puts people off, or it can put people off. I know there are people online in these, I don't know whether anybody's in any of the Facebook groups or anything like that, but you see people really like panicking, putting posts on there and panicking because they just don't know what to do and they don't know which source of information is correct.
Yeah, and then it doesn't help them because then they get 15 different answers in the groups, and then all of a sudden they're even worse off. We've had people in tears in the shop before where they've gone on to like a better group or a pufferfish group, and all of a sudden, they're getting bombarded. Well, you should have done this and you should have done that and you should know this and you should know. It's like, oh my word, like they've made a mistake. Like, chill out. We all are learning. Yes, okay, fish need to be looked after, but it's better not to shout them down and try and get them to, succeed, isn't it?
Yeah, I agree. I think the key is to welcoming beginners as best that everybody can. Not just people that are working in fish stores day to day, or people that are, like have a platform like ourselves and things like that. I think you have to be open to helping beginners of every level. Some people, they come into the hobby because people come into the hobby for different things. Like loves shrimp. Have you still got that T-shirt on? I feel like I can't take seriously. Love shrimp, for example. But then you've got us that are more the fish keeping side. You've got people that are more the aquascaping side, and everyone's going to have different experience levels. So I think it's all those different things working together to welcome beginners into the hobby.
What's just quickly before I go to AH, what have we got? Bottled bacteria, fish in, fishless. What's the other ways of cycling that I literally am escaping my brain?
The goop.
Yes.
Class that's
bottled bacteria though, isn't it?
Yeah. Kind of. It's big bottle of slime. Yeah.
Yeah, it's the same sort of thing. Is that all the things?
Yeah. It's
fish in.
There's like fishless cycle in it where someone like essentially has a tank set up for like a month or two with it.
Ammonia dosing. Yeah, I'm going to put fishless / ammonia dosing. I'm going to drop a ammonia. Whoa! I put too many O's and A's in that.
Ammonia.
I'm going to put that into the chat so that people can vote on how they do it. I just need to get rid of that one. I think that'll work.
Have you ever heard the method where people put a frozen prawn in and let it just degrade?
Yeah, I've seen that, to be fair, quite a few times.
I think Rebecca's made a good point in the comments there, saying Facebook groups, if you join too many, are a good way to check your knowledge. If you're only in one, you risk an echo chamber, and that's correct.
Yeah.
You're only going to get certain people's opinions. You're not going to get a wider base of knowledge.
And I think like adding something like a prawn, or it used to be the case that you used to be able to like feed, like you'd just feed pellets or flake food and just keep feeding until you had that ammonia spike, and then you'd let it degrade. The problem for me is then you end up with this like fungusy mess at the bottom that if there is any of it left hanging around in the aquarium and then your fish goes and eats it, I just don't know what problems that's going to cause with their gut. We haven't gone to AH yet, so I'm going to give him the floor or the
pitch,
caravan, or whatever it's called.
Yeah, give him the pitch.
Caravan, yeah.
Give him the penalty spot.
I mean, as others have said, it depends on, there's lots of different ways of doing it. There's lots of different circumstances to why you'd want to do it. So, like, the first tank I ever set up, I literally just put fish in, did a fishing cycle. I don't think I used any products, to be honest, but I did obviously keep testing the water, did water changes if I needed to. And then after a few weeks, I did a few more. But then, like we've already touched upon, is that now you've got like Optimus and Satis, you've got Prime and Stability, which makes it a lot easier if you want to fully stock your tank effectively to a degree. Although even though when I've done that, I've always sort of erred on the side of caution where I've only added a few fish each time. But then, like you say, then you've got the other aspect of if you're using soil, if you're using old substrate, that's probably going to leak ammonia. And effectively, that's going to do the job for you. So you can set it up, keep testing it, and as soon as that ammonia drops, then you put your fish in. So I think it's, like we said, there's so many different ways of doing it. I think that people are more experienced, don't really have to worry about it as much because they can always take that cycled media from another tank or out of the filter and put it into there. But if you're just, I think, getting into it and it's your very first tank, I don't think you can really go much wrong with Optimus and Satis or Prime and Stability. I think that's going to be the easiest way to do it. But even then, you've still got to be careful because you've still got to think about what numbers of fish you're putting in. You're still going to have to be testing that water. And I don't know if, if people are sort of fully aware of it, but certainly with Prime, if you use the C10 Prime, that can mess up your ammonia readings. So it can tell you there's ammonia in there when there's not ammonia in there. I don't know if Optimus is the same because I haven't really tested it to that degree, but certainly with Prime, it can still give you false readings. So you've still got to be very careful about it. But
yeah, there's so many products that can give you, like you say, false readings of ammonium instead of ammonia and all of this sort of stuff. And yeah, it is. But I think that's where people, need to know the nitrogen cycle and all of that sort of stuff and make sure that they know roughly what's going on in their tank.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Well, that is exciting. I think it is. It's just one of those things. I always feel bad when I make my videos because I'm a little bit like, I try and sort of give everyone as many options as I can and sort of like, there's these options, these are the ones. But I feel like I'm being a little bit like sat on the fence. But that's all you can really do is give everyone the options. Like my acclimatization video, I remember doing that one, and I'm like, you can do it like this, and like this, and like this, and like this. And went through the pros and cons in my mind of what each one does and what each one is good for, and then hope that they can take that away. But I do feel that ends up making my videos, instead of like an 8-minute snappy video, it's me 25 minutes later still talking. So you put the cup of water in the bag. So it is tricky. It is definitely tricky. But do you find one interesting thing, like with botanicals, with wood, with rocks, with plants, it's all going to help towards a cycle. And I think that aquariums have got better. And obviously I've been in the hobby, or I've been working in the trade and hobby for like 20 years. So it might not be as relevant. But I've found that now people are way more successful with keeping fish because I think there is just so much more life going on in a tank, like bacteria and spaces for bacteria to grow and to live.
Yeah, I agree. Exactly. It's similar to sort of, it all contributes, doesn't it? Botanicals, like you say, all beneficial for your cycle. Heavy planting from the start is another tip that I would personally always go to. I think the heavier you plant at the start, the better start you give into your aquarium. I don't know
where my flamingo cup is. A flamingo cup is definitely a must when you are acclimatizing fish. I don't know where it is though.
The famous flamingo cup.
Yeah, I'm going to get Ems to print on a t-shirt for me.
He's the t-shirt man.
Ems is the best for merch, as we can see right now.
Print us a shirt, you're the t-shirt man.
So, I think we have covered cycling. There was a couple of questions that were higher up. Who wants to take hair algae for 10 points?
What was the question on it?
How to fix it without lowering lights, without, like, what would you do? What is your go-to? I think it said, I can't find it now, but I think it said something along the lines of they've tried lowering lighting, they've tried, like, you can only just try everything, to be honest with you.
No.
It's gonna be lighting, it's gonna be food, it's gonna be
reduced temperature.
Yeah, it's literally everything.
There's so many
And use
factors
this.
to.
I don't know if you can see it.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So this is what I use for my shrimp tanks when it gets hair algae. So it is.
I've never used that.
It's called Algae Exit.
Easy Light.
They do like an easy carbo and stuff like that as well. But if you're worried about how stuff's going to affect your livestock, this stuff is safe for Caridina shrimps. So you can pretty much guarantee it's going to be safe for everything else as well. It's really good. It takes a little while to properly work. But if you get some of this stuff, you reduce your temperature a little bit. And I know you don't want to reduce your light, but if you can, put a towel or something over that one tank, or if it's a big tank, just try and black it out a little bit for a couple of days. It's really going to help this stuff take effect and put a big dent in that algae.
AH, can you just test your mic quickly?
Yeah.
Yeah, you are quiet.
No, you are quiet.
How's that? Is that any better?
That might be better.
Quite quiet and muffled.
I can go a bit closer. How's that now?
It's better, but it's still like quiet. It must be your phone mic.
Got some pocket fluff in it.
Yeah, it's not covered, so that's weird. I don't know what's going on there.
Yeah, to be fair, I think you're better now. To be fair, I've just turned you up in the settings as well. But to be fair, with any algae, I personally think that a lot of fish tanks are now running on too much light when it comes to like most settings. Like my Anubias tank upstairs has like 2 to maybe 3 hours of light a day, and it's perfect. Like I say perfect, there's a bit of green spot algae, and if I actually took the time to go through and trim the plants and mess around with it, it'd be even better, but I don't need to. So yeah, I think a lot of people, like I had one tank that the light, I've probably said it 100 times, but I had one tank where the light just gave up, and it had Crypts and Anubias and Bucephalandra, and I left it. I was like, crack on, see what you do. And it's fine. Like it was in a daylit room, like with a big window. Never got hit by direct sunlight, but did get a little bit of like brightness. And those plants were still growing and thriving even after like, I don't know, maybe they were in there for a good 6 months. And then you put them in a tank with a really nice light unit on it 8 hours a day, and then all of a sudden it's coated in algae. And so I think it is just playing with everything. More water changes, keep your feeding down, check the quality of your food. Yeah, there is so much you can do. It's just trying to work out which one is causing your problem.
And if you get blackbeard algae, it's game over.
Actually, no.
Yeah.
I've got
Still
a
not
great
gone.
tip on that. Spoiler alert. So I have been dosing a liquid carbon on like a spot treatment, and I know a lot of people say that doesn't work, but if you do it right and you've got a fertilizer that isn't got too many nutrients in, then it can balance out quite well. So a lot of people fear when they've got algae problems and stuff like that, that it's down to the liquid fertilizer, and it can be if you're overdosing. There's always such thing as too much nutrients in your water column. However, if you're doing the right amount and the right measurement, as well as spot treating liquid carbon on liquid CO2, as to speak, on a certain point, then you can break that down within a couple of days and it'll dissolve, and then your plants will flourish, outcompete the algae, and that will reduce your algae issues. That's what I've had in my experience from a certain fertilizer that I'm going to be doing a review on, Plantus. So
yeah, it's quite interesting. I was just reading Rebecca's comments as well. There's some interesting points on algae there in the chat.
Yeah,
sorry, Abby, to cut you off there, mate.
It's all right, no problem.
Yeah, I agree. I find that blackbeard algae it's a funny one. It can grow in anything. It can grow in stagnant water. It can grow in fast flowing water. It can grow anywhere. And there's so many different factors that can cause it, as I have experienced quite heavily in recent months. But anyway, yeah. Mine, I think, is just a mixture of everything. I needed to adjust my lighting, adjust my fertilizer dosing. Yeah, it was just there wasn't enough flow in the aquarium, which is why I'm now running a pump. Yeah, it is slowly subsiding with the help of Flourish XL, but it's one of them. It's difficult.
Yeah, I think it is. But I think every tank is different. Everyone's lights are different. Everyone's stocking is different. Everything. Water qualities are different. And I think that's what people forget, is what will work for one person will not work for the next. And you just have to work out which one is causing your problems, to be fair.
Yeah.
I think we've covered that. But the other question that I saw, which was about introducing fish. And what is the best way to introduce fish, and what is your preferred method of introducing fish? Things like bottom dwellers, I did see, like catfish and things like that. Do you take the time to drip? Do you take the time to mess around? Do you just temperature acclimate? What do you do?
So
hey.
You go first.
It depends on the species.
Oh no, is it Adam that I'm letting go first? Oh no.
It's all right. I've got.
Am I just going to repeatedly get ribbed on this live? Honestly, you've already got me face on your t-shirt.
You say
it'll be a while.
You say that you'll get ribbed, but all that happens, everyone gets ribbed in this group. It's just the way that it is.
Right. So
somebody set a timer.
So it depends on the species. Like, if you know it's a sensitive fish, then take your time with it and acclimatize it longer. And if it's a shrimp, and we'll probably talk about in a moment, shrimp are a bit more delicate, depending if it's neocaridina to caridina. Yeah, simple as that. If you think it's a hardy enough species and it's a well-established fish in the hobby, and you know it's going to be the most bulletproof fish in your tank, then you can be a bit more lax with it. But it just depends really on what you're introducing.
Yeah, I agree, to be fair. I think that's it.
Yeah.
My take on that would be completely agree with Adam, and I think to elaborate on it. So most of the time, just because I'm used to doing shrimp, if I can, I'll drip acclimate. Some fish that I know are quite hardy, I might do a sped up version of a drop acclimate. So I might just scoop a bit of water into their bag every now and then until I'm ready to put them in. But when it comes to fish that are a little bit territorial or are known to be a bit aggressive, I'll always add them last. So say I was building a tank, I might maybe put the shoaling fish in first, and then the bottom dwellers, and then that centerpiece fish in, or say maybe a betta or gouramis or whatever the bigger, more aggressive fish is. I'll let them go in last, so they haven't had time to establish their territories, and they have to almost work around the other fish in there.
Yeah.
I think it depends on depends a lot on sort of what it is that you're acclimating, and also like sort of how far it's come, whether you know the water that it's come from as well. So if you're talking like a fish shop that's maybe like 10 minutes down the road, chances are the water's going to be very similar to yours. So in that scenario, I'd probably just temperature acclimate and then plop and drop. But yeah, if it's more sensitive, like shrimp and things like that, I would drip acclimate. And of course, with my Malawis as well, they take a little bit more care because, of course, you have to factor in the hierarchy and things. So in that scenario, I'd water change it. But again, it'd just be not drip acclimate, temperature acclimate, water change, and then drop them in there. So like you say, it's everything's different really. Depends how far the fish have had to travel as well, and if you know the water they've come from.
Someone left a comment there, Stay, Glam and Aparist, he dropped a comment there talking about if you get something from the auction, it's plop and drop. And again, it's probably circumstantial as well. The longer the fish has been in the bag, for example, if you've had it delivered, then your likelihood is maybe you don't want to take as long with it and open the bag up and allow ammonia to activate in the bag. So you want, like, from Matt can probably speak from experience too, being in a fish shop, the last thing you want to do is let fish marinate in that bag longer than it already has and let the ammonia leach in the bag too. So again, it's a bit more circumstantial again.
So what can happen though, when you're shipping fish miles and miles and miles and miles and they're in the bags for hours on end, what you can find that will happen is obviously the pH slowly drops over the course of the few hours, however long they're in the bag for. As soon as you open that bag and add oxygen to it or like air it out, you'll find the pH starts to climb again, which then obviously ammonia is slightly less toxic in a lower pH than it is a higher pH. And then there's all of a sudden you'll go from you'll have this massive pH swing and you'll have this a big ammonia spike inside the bag. And then all of a sudden all your fish are just freaking out. Like tiger barbs are the worst for it. They hate it. So in those circumstances, there was a few different ways of doing it. Like some suppliers would tell us to open up the bags. You would put ammonia remover in. You would put some of your tank water into the bag and then reseal it as quickly as possible, which I didn't like doing because it just felt so rushed and you're like, oh my word, I can't. And then you're sealing back up in the bag. And but that was how some suppliers told you that, that's how we would recommend to do it. But in that case, most of the time, it was just cut them out, cut the bag, get them out of the bag because they are better in clean, fresh water than they are in that bag. But for most people traveling or, moving around, then really taking the time and, drip acclimating or, even cut acclimating, making sure those temperatures are up because you just don't know. My tanks with they're over my shoulder. Two of my tanks, one's got Pagoda stone in, the other one's got dragonstone in, and the pHs, even though those tanks sit next to each other, they've got the same substrate, the same water change routine, same filtration. Those pHs are completely different in those two tanks, and you just don't know what your tank is doing unless you're testing it regularly. You don't know what your tank's doing, and you also don't know what the shop is doing. Silence.
Yeah,
Silence.
With every shop, it's different as well. And again, depending where in the country you're based, it can be different. And another thing too, depending where the fish has come from, if the wild caught, another precaution that a lot of people need to take or a lot of shops take is they'll prepare, from my experience, we used to prepare a tank and have it with a load of botanicals in and tannins. So when we get the wild discus, we'd introduce them into that. And then slowly over periods of time, introduce them into the normal fresh water that we would have in the other tanks as a way to acclimatise them to normal water parameters within the area. Because if you just throw them, some fish, if you just throw them from one really low pH to neutral or higher, it can just put them into shock and they can die. So it's a lot of scientific terminology that people are probably, beginners especially, will probably get intimidated by, but it's essential to have that test kit and to make sure that you're testing your parameters, whether that's the parameters in the bag or the parameters in your tank, and then seeing where it evens out.
Jay, you didn't have a go on that. You happy?
Yeah, I've got a dog crying at my feet, so I was trying not to interrupt everybody. I'll get her for the camera just for the sake of the live.
Bring the dog up.
Yeah, I agree, to be quite honest. I think the dog is here. Oh, probably not going to be able to see the dog, to be fair.
Look at it.
The
Did you watch your Doberman?
The mini Doberman. Hello.
XL bully that, innit?
Oh, feral. Yeah, I agree. I think it's one of them that I think everybody has their own methods. It depends on what type of fish you're putting into your tank. I know for M, it's going to be very different with how sensitive some Caridina species are and things like that. But yeah, most fish, I just tend to just the standard drip acclimate, pop them in the tank when you get back. Just pop the bag in, let it float, acclimatise to the temperature, then drip acclimate into the bag for 15 minutes or so, and then just pop them in the bucket, put them in the tank, and good to go.
I was actually surprised the other week when I was what was I drip acclimating out here? Can't remember now, but I had the door open and I temperature acclimated it and then put it on the floor for 5 minutes while I was dripping. Came back to test the water temperature just to check, and it had dropped like 2 degrees in that 10 minutes from being in the tank to, and I was like, oh my word, like that needs to be warmed back up again, sort of thing. So yeah, you just have to be careful, I think, and it is working out which one. But it is all covered in my acclimatization video. So if you want to go watch it and you want to hear me talk about it for 35 minutes, then crack on.
Way.
That's the way to go.
Yeah, someone asked, what is the best shrimp to put in the tank? I'd just go Amano, because if you're starting out, it's Amano or cherry.
You can throw one at a wall and they'll walk.
I wish it was that simple. I wish it was that simple.
Amanos or cherries, done.
It's not. No, man. No, it's not. It's not.
Have you got bitey fish? Amanos. Have you got no bitey fish? Cherries.
It depends on your existing stocking and on your water type. And there's many options. So obviously Amanas and cherries, if there was a nuclear war tomorrow and all human life is wiped out, Amanas and cherries would still survive along with cockroaches. However, if they were in a tank with cichlids, cherries aren't going to survive.
No.
Yeah.
Are we finished?
I think that's a good way to finish that topic.
I thought you were gonna. No, I thought Ems was gonna start talking about Mazora triple dot something.
Would
He's
you
going
like
to get
to
on
know
his
more?
soapbox then.
I'm still. You've talked me through it so many times, and I'm like, still have no clue.
I'm going to sit you there one day in a chair with those like eyelid openers, and you're going to sit there and watch genetics of Caridina shrimp for the entire
What is this shrimp? I don't know. What is this shrimp? I don't know.
Wrong. Start again.
The shrimp mason. What does it mean?
Throws an older cone at me. I did like that question. What's everyone's favorite cat? I'm just going through questions. I like these questions that come in. What's everyone's favorite catfish species?
Oh.
Cynodontus.
What did you say?
Cynodontus.
Oh, Cynodontus. I heard you say golden something. I sounded well excited. Yeah, they have got some nice Angelicus in the shop at the moment that I've been tempted by a few times.
Yeah, very nice fish.
I've definitely got a new one.
You got? I was going to say, of course, Ems has got a new one.
Achesis vespers. They are awesome.
Been practicing that Latin name for the past few days.
Yeah, I do like them. I'm gutted I didn't pick any up.
Them because I wanted them.
I wish I picked up more. I wish I got more than 2.
The last time I saw the Vespers was like years and years ago. So yeah, they are.
I know Adam's kicking himself as well. I know Adam's like, I should have got some.
Yeah.
Was that a Scouse accent you tried then?
No. Do you want me to try a Scouse accent? No, I don't actually. No, I don't want to embarrass myself.
Somebody get the clip ready.
Yeah. No, I don't know what my favourite catfish is at the moment.
I think I'm probably going to ruin another one of the questions for myself here, but I think at the minute I'm going to go with glass catfish. I think they look so cool.
Ooh.
Oh, you're
That's an
obsessed with that
open-
red tank video, aren't you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
After that, I presume everyone's seen it in the chat. That video.
That was a wicked video.
Yeah.
The cinematography on that, I was just sat there like, I love this fish. I want it.
Yeah, to be fair, that was a class fish to complement that red scape.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I think that's probably mine at the moment, although that's probably going to ruin my answer for another topic later on in the stream, but there we go.
My boring answer is honeycomb woodcats, as you can see there.
Yeah, fair. Yeah, I think I've got a lot at the moment. I quite like, I don't know, it's a really hard one. I'd probably want to keep something that I've not kept before. What's my favourite catfish that I haven't kept before? You know what, actually, no, I have kept them before. Pimelodus pictus. They are the nuttiest, silverest, craziest fish with the biggest whiskers. Love them. Actually, I want some now.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to work out where I can put them.
Well, you've shuffled some things around, so you should have the space.
I haven't. Not for them. Maybe I need to get rid of the smaller fish in the big tank and open up a bit. Maybe that's the next time. 6 months' time, I'll shut down that tank. Yeah, and we'll do something a bit different. While we're talking, because who wanted to talk? Who wanted to say about oddballs? Who wanted favourite oddballs?
Yeah.
So while we're doing favourite fish, then what oddballs do you want to discuss, Jay?
Glass catfish. That's my answer to everything. Glass catfish. I'm obsessed. Absolutely obsessed. And I also saw when I went to Maidenhead, they've got a new smaller wolffish in the display tank now. And I saw it and I was like, I would love one of you, but you're too angry.
Yeah, that is the problem with them. They are so angry. I'd probably go down the route of African butterfly fish for the surface.
Yeah.
Nice.
Oh,
Nice.
that's a nice one.
Yeah. Although, probably keeping close to the wolffish, a rainbow wolffish, they only get to like, I think it's 7 or 8 inches, and they're actually stunning. They're just angry.
I have never heard of them. It sounds like.
Give it a Google.
Oh no, I have heard of them. I've never. Oh yeah, okay. Why? I didn't know
They might
why.
be the smallest in the wolffish.
Yeah, I didn't know they were called a rainbow wolffish.
Yeah.
I know the one you mean.
Yeah, they don't get too big. Yeah, I'd love to keep one, but there's just no way.
Fair. Yeah, that's fair.
Trying to think of other ones now. I think a ghost knifefish, everyone.
Yeah.
There's a knifefish that is very small. I'm trying to recall the name. Someone will let me know in the chat probably. And Matt might know as well. It's like a small little brown knifefish, like a nano one.
The ones that Alex has got.
I think Alex has got them, yeah.
No, not a clue. Can't remember.
Alex, let us know in the chat.
Yeah, it's what he got. Ems doesn't want any oddballs.
Well, have you seen? There is a really cool oddball that I've always liked. I saw one on TikTok maybe about 6 months ago. Somebody had it was like a ghost knifefish, but it was like a tiger print or a zebra print on it.
There you go.
Wicked.
I'm not pronouncing that.
Bracky. Why are there 2 HYs together? How do you even say that?
Brachyhippopotamus.
Brachyhippopotamus.
Yeah, Brachyhippopotamus guardiario. Sounds great.
But I mean, can we count coolie loaches as oddballs?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, coolie loaches.
Because like, I would love to see 1,000 coolie loaches in a single tank.
Yes.
1,000 noodles.
That was a throwback to the weekend, if you didn't know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you answer that or not?
I agreed with you, Matt, on the African butterfly fish. I think that's a really cool thing.
I want to do. So Barclay had hatchet fish, marbled hatchet fish. They had those spotted splash tetras. There was loads of surface dwellers, and I just haven't got a tank currently that has surface cover that isn't open top. Like, if my tank's got surface cover in the way of floating plants, it's open top. If my tank hasn't got surface cover and it's just like an LED strip above their head, I just feel that's really mean. Can you imagine being a shoal of hatchet fish and there's just like an LED constantly? Like, no, it's not. I need to set up a tank for them. Yeah, to be fair, there is someone has asked best biomedia a couple of times now that I've seen.
Decam Matrix for me.
I was just going to say the same thing. I've got another tub of it in the cabinet to use.
The Eheim, is it Substrap Pro? That's pretty decent as well.
I think, to be fair, I've been using a lot of the new Awaza ones. They've just released a load of new ones. I say and the cool thing is with them is they've done like grades, if that makes sense. So you've got like, for argument's sake, you've got one that's £8 that has a small surface area. You've got one that's £12 that has a larger surface area, and then you've got one that's £15 that's got an even larger surface area. JBL used to be the company. They probably still do it, but they used to do that where it was like, this box is a tenner, this box is 15, this box is 20. But the £20 box was equivalent on surface area to like 10 of the £10 boxes, if that makes sense, because it was made of a different media and different material. So that always interested me, that like it looks the same. It's the same sort of ceramic looking hula hoop thing, but actually the surface area, because of the material it's made with, is way, way, way better. So yeah, I think any biomedia can be good as long as you've got enough of it.
Yeah, that's the key, isn't it?
Yeah,
I think it's the quantity more than that. Might sound very, very stupid, but the quantity more than the quality. If you've got more, it's the more's the better. It's like the pond, the new pond. I've put 4 bags of existing media in on top of the Awaza media that came with the filter, and it's all going to stay in there. I'm not taking it out. So yeah.
And again, I think it's made a difference since people are using natural rock and wood more in their aquariums.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because, like, going back when it was like, day glow gravel, a pirate ship, half a dozen plastic plants, and you're done. Yeah, okay, there's surface area there, but you compare that surface area to a piece of lava stone or a piece of dragon stone or something like that. The surface area on that natural rock is going to be way more than that pirate ship or battleship or whatever you want to call it. So yeah, I think it has changed. I've noticed a lot of people change since being a bit more naturalistic or seeing a lot more naturalistic tanks.
Somebody's made a good point there. The best biomedia is the biomedia available to you, or whatever is the cheapest. The bacterial life cycle is determined by far more than the type of biomedia, even though it does matter to an extent. Agree with that.
Do you run any biomedia, any of your filters on your shrimp tanks, Em?
Mainly just sponges, to be honest with you, mate.
Yeah, I thought so.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just like, there's no need to overcomplicate it with shrimp, because like the sponges, they create an extra grazing area for the shrimp anyway. The shrimp have such a small bio load. As long as you've got a big enough sponge to have enough bacteria colonize in it, you're good to go. Shrimp tanks, though, like not shrimp tanks, fish tanks. Some of my nano species, I just run a sponge on them as well. But my new one that I'm setting up, I've got the Awaza Filto Smart Thermo 100, so that's got some biomedia in it.
Yeah,
that comes with a lot of biomedia, doesn't it?
Yeah, like the whole
right hand side or something.
Yeah, the whole right hand side that you fit the heater into, you put all the ceramic tubes into that.
This filter behind me keeps blasting out air. And that's going to be something I'm going to have to sort out before I go up to bed. And it's really cool now because I've got about eight baby. That's a spoiler. I was going to do a video on that. We've got 8 or 9 baby multifasciata shell dwellers in there at the moment, which is quite cool.
We have a lot of repeat questions about dwarf cichlids, which probably stems into one of the topics.
Yeah, I would say dwarf cichlids is a good one to go on to because we did want to discuss dwarf cichlids, didn't we?
Yeah,
absolutely. We love a good dwarf cichlid.
Andrea has asked, if I scroll up, best dwarf cichlid.
Depends on if it's your first venture into dwarf cichlids. I would say one of the more common ones like cockatoos, agassiz, borelli. I wouldn't go ram.
Crebensis is a good one if you're.
I was just going to say,
yeah,
cribs. If you're looking for something to breed, like you can breed them in a toilet bowl. They don't care where they are.
They get a bit aggressive. But
I was going to say the only thing I'd say with cribs is like I would trust them with like a lemon tetra with that broader body. I would not trust them with a neon.
No.
Yeah. I bred them with pencil fish because the pencil fish stayed near the top, so they were out of their way. Like they'd stay on the other side higher up, so the cribs weren't too stressed. The pencils weren't stressed. It was a good combination. But go on, sorry.
To be fair, like as well, I think whenever we say dwarf cichlids, it's really easy to go to your South American and your African dwarf cichlids, like Crebensis style, Histogramma style, Ram style. But you've got other ones as well, haven't you? Like your shell dwellers.
Yeah.
So, like, to be honest, when you think about your shell dwellers as well, I would say probably the easiest, no fuss dwarf cichlid to ever keep and breed easily is probably Neolampelegus multifasciatus. Your common shell dweller. They're just so easy. You've basically got to do nothing. You don't even need to scape the tank. You just put sand in with shells, and they will scape the tank to what they want it to be.
Yeah, they are great little fish. I think it depends whether you want to keep them in a community though, because I'd say like the little multi-shell dwellers, I wouldn't put them into a standard community tank because you want that water. You want that water to be a little bit harder. They are nasty little swines. When you watch them and how aggressive they are towards each other. So I think that's why a lot of people, when you go dwarf cichlid, when someone comes into the shop, I want a centerpiece fish for my tank, you always end up going for like pretty much gouramis or dwarf cichlids for a community tank.
Yeah.
I think like if we were to start getting into the bit more of the intermediate to advanced dwarf cichlids, there you go. Question can be what are your favorite dwarf cichlids? So from my experience, and I'd love to keep them again. Obviously we mentioned cribs earlier. Cribs and pistos are 2 of my favorites, but I've said this a few times now. Nanochromis transvestitis, which is the transvestite cichlid nicknamed. The reasoning for that is that the female has predominantly the better colours compared to the male. Although in my experience, when the male gets a lot more mature, you can see a bit more of a rainbow shimmer on him, on the back of his fins, which is nice. And then one that I haven't kept that you may know, similar kind of water parameters, being a bit more tannin stained, botanical stained, is checkerboard cichlids. They're great too. There's quite a few variants of them with the longer fins and a brownish body. Quite nice fish.
They are nice, to be fair. I'll give you that. I was just trying to find. There was one at the shop the other day, and I can't remember what on earth they were. And I was just looking for them on my phone, and they were stunning. I thought they were aligned. No, they're not. I can't remember, and I can't find the photo now. I thought they were aligned, the pistogramma or something like that. But they were really nice, and I went back there like a day later, and they'd all gone. I should have picked them up, but then again, like for my channel, like for what I'm aiming for my channel to try and teach people and to try and show people, I do, as I've said to everyone before, I do like going for the more common stuff, so that more people can get it. It's great having all this rare stuff, but if you can't get it in 99% of places, there's no point.
Yeah, I know it's probably not considered a dwarf cichlid as such, but Matt, you're I saw some in the shop the other day, and they were really nice. I don't know a lot about cichlids, to be quite honest, but festive cichlids.
Yeah.
There was some in Maidenhead in Chester, and I saw them and I was like, ooh, quite like those. But yeah, cichlids for me. I've kept cribs. Obviously, I think most people have kept cribs. Toyed with the idea of a pair of Dark Knight rams, but that's about as far as it's got for me, really.
I love rams, and everyone goes for them. Like you walk into a shop and you see a nice, good group of rams, and you're like, oh yeah, I'd like a group of them. I'd like a pair of them. And they not always, that's wrong. They don't always cause trouble, but they are just such a sensitive fish. Yeah, I just don't really like having them for the majority of people. Like, you can put a pair of cockatoos or a pair of cribs in a tank and they'll be fine. Put a pair of rams in a tank and you look at them funny and they will get sick.
It's just the genetic burden that they've got now because of the popularity of them. Like, it's very hard to get a high quality ram these days. You could have one that would be a really nice specimen and like it'd be perfectly fine for a week, and then one day it's just gone. No explanation as to why. And then with these strains of the dark and midnight rams, with the popularity of them, it's the same again. Like, it's very hard to get a nice quality fish. So if people like to go for rams or that similar fin structure shape, I always push them towards Bolivian rams instead, because they're underappreciated. They may look dull in the shop, but they get a nice yellow to the cheek, and the males get like nice long fin extensions too. They get a little bit more chunkier than your standard ram, but they're great. I also see quite a few shouts in the chat here actually talking about the Nanacara animala, golden cichlid, which is a bit more. It is an actual regularly available fish that is quite underappreciated in my opinion, because I think of them, the males especially, like a mini electric blue acara in my opinion. They look like one.
It's because they look rubbish when they're young.
Yes, definitely. Nanacara, I think, as a whole, is kind of a bit unappreciated unless you're looking at Instagram and then you see a zebra acara in brackets. That's when it starts to go down the rabbit hole of people are like, oh, that's a super rare fish I want to get a hold of. I think you've got Adakita
or Adaketa, or how do you want to say it? Yeah.
And that's like a bit more of affordable, regularly available version of that fish.
You say affordable, like I still see them. Like, if you can get them locally bred, they're all right. But I've walked past shops where they're still like £100 a pair, 120 quid a pair.
It's crazy. It's crazy, isn't it? And I think that might be down to the mislabeling, isn't it? Because people are thinking they're getting the zebra car and they're not.
I don't think it is. I think it's still from importing them. I still think it's where either, because like once they get breeding. I've seen loads of them with like tons and tons of babies, and I think it's where people are breeding them locally, taking them into shops, and the shops are selling them for cheaper. Whereas, and again, some importers will probably be doing them cheaper now because the hype has sort of died down a little bit.
Sorry, I thought you were going to carry on. I think the hype has died at the peak interest of them zebra acara. I seen a shop locally to mine that was selling fish like minute, and they were selling them as pairs for like 85 quid, and I was like, it's a bit wrong, that, because like if you're getting a fish this big, a lot of us know, especially breeders, if you've got a fish this big, the likelihood of that fish making it to adult size is always 50-50. So selling them as pairs for the price that they were, I was like, that's a bit crazy, isn't it? But that was like an example of peak jumping on a trend of like a fish, the hype.
Hang on. Right, so 2 seconds. I was going to message him, but I've realised that Alex, just nod if you're all right. Yeah? Okay, cool.
Oh.
There we go.
Hey.
Hey.
Hello.
Give it up for the
Hey,
sixth
yeah.
scapegoat.
I didn't want to add you just in case that you were just like, I just literally clicked back onto the streaming settings. I saw that you were sat down the bottom there. I was like, oh my word, he's there.
Yeah. Just as I've joined though, he is starting to wake up. So I might not be here long,
That's fine.
but I'm here for now.
That's all that we can ask for. Alex, favourite dwarf cichlid as you've come into this?
Favorite one I've kept is definitely Elizabethae epistogrammas.
Oh,
what a fish.
I miss my pair of those. That's definitely my favorite that I've kept.
funny you should say that.
Yeah, there you go. That's the one in the Taunton display, I assume.
That's it. Yeah. It was out and about displaying today.
When I was there, every time I went there with my camera, he buggered off. Female was out, male was hiding. I walk away, leave my camera somewhere else in the shop, walk past it, male's right at the front.
Always the way.
Getting so frustrated. But hey. Yeah, that's probably my favourite.
What's your goal, Alex? What's your goal fish at the moment?
My goldfish at the moment, not just dwarf cichlids, or we're sticking with dwarf cichlids.
We could move on to that, I suppose, couldn't we?
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm just coming in halfway through and.
Okay, we're going to put you on the spot then. We're going to put you on the spot, Alex. What's your fish that you're aiming for now?
The fish that I'm aiming for. There's one. I really want to keep a pair of ruby scooter blennies, the really bright red ones with the gold pectoral fins. That's one that I've kept. I had a very small one when I used to have a marine tank, and a 6-line wrasse harassed it a lot. That meant I had to remove it very quickly.
Yeah.
So I'd like to do it again with a pair. So I've got a male with that really nice big dorsal fin. But I'm going to need quite a big tank for that, for a very small fish.
And to be fair, Ems, would yours be a shrimp?
My favorite.
Like yeah.
My favorite. No, so you know what? I might surprise you. My favorite dwarf cichlid. So I would be inclined to say Epistogramma agassizii. I've had a couple of them, but my actual favorite one used to be super popular in the hobby, and then it's kind of died off a bit, and they're actually quite hard to find now. But dwarf flag cichlids, the smiling Akara.
Nice.
Super nice fish, super easy to breed, nice temperament. You can keep them in a big group or you can keep them in a pair. And the way that their breeding behavior is, once they link up with, once they've paired, they kind of stick with their pair and you'll see them just drift around together forever until one of them dies. Super cool fish, super underrated, not too expensive, just harder to find these days for some reason.
But then I think I found that, and I was chatting to a guy at Fish Fate, I think it was, who was a breeder, and it's almost, again, that like striving for more. We were talking about it with shrimp, weren't we, on the weekend, where it's like, I just want a like browny grey, red-ish cherry shrimp. I just want 100 of them. Like, I don't want anything that's like super red or super green or super blue. I don't want that. And he was talking about, he wanted standard blue Akaras, and he cannot find them anywhere, like at all. All he can find is electric blues. He's like, where have all the standard blue Akaras gone? And it's the same, I think, for a lot of there used to be Curviceps, and then there was the red one, the maroon-bellied one. I think it was Dorsagera. They were like stunning, and we used to have them in the shop all the time. But now you've got the black rams and the gold rams and this and this and this, and everyone's going for these like insane fish, and that's why I like the idea of going back to white cloud mountain minnows.
And then it's funny though, isn't it? Like, at what point does everyone get so desensitized to these really extravagant blue, deep blue looking ones, and all of a sudden the more extravagant looking one is the dull one compared to these really deep blues and these deep reds and everything. So surely at some point it flips itself back on its head and everyone moves back away from the really extravagant ones because everyone's got one of those, and you're back to these more natural looking ones, and that's what everyone wants to have.
Yeah, I agree. I hope so.
Yeah. It's a difficult one, isn't it? I think everybody has different goals in the hobby, and that's what makes the hobby so unique. For me, it's always going to be some form of tetra, probably. Probably lizard tetra is on my list. That's quite high on my list. Tropco had them not long ago, and I was like really tempted, but then I was like, I don't have a tank for that.
Lizard
I'm going to be
tetra.
sensible. Yeah.
Is that? See, I've got a feeling I know the ones you mean.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do know the ones you mean. Make sure if you ever get them, make sure you check that they are like a little bit coloured up, because we used to order them all the time in the shop, and you'd order the like really, really fantastic coloured ones, like the reds or the greens or something.
Greens,
they'd always come through silver, and then you'd keep them for like 8 months in the shop, and they would still be silver.
Yeah.
So yeah, they are like. I think the suppliers always like name them something that they're probably not.
Yeah, I think after going into Maidenhead in Chester the other day, those moose face loaches, I would love to keep one of them. They're so cool.
Yeah, they'd be wicked.
And one of them was just like buried, like entire body under the substrate and just a head poking up. I was like, personality fish, like it.
Yeah,
that's definitely one. Obviously, I've mentioned them how many times. Tucano tetra, would absolutely love to keep them. Very expensive fish, very sensitive. Not so much difficult to keep, but difficult to allow to thrive is probably the way to put it. Still keen on a leopard frog pleco as well, but
see, I'm just going back to all the normal stuff. Like I just want a pair of fire mouths again.
That's also fair. Yeah,
like there are so many cool fish that aren't stocked anymore because they've sort of fallen out of fashion, as it were.
Yeah.
And it's like some fish that have fallen out of fashion is great. Like having every shop with elephant nose fish, like having every shop with a silver arowana in. All of those fish that have fallen out of fashion from the 90s and the 2000s, I think is great. But having those fish that actually are really good community fish and really hardy that have disappeared is a bit rubbish.
What about everybody's basic fish that they want to keep?
All my fish are basic.
You've just said them firemouth cichlids.
But there's so many. I would still go down the route of like, I don't even know. Like I love my X-ray tetras, Pastella tetras I want to get.
Yeah, stunning. They had them at Berkeley at the weekend.
Yeah.
Stunning. I think
I'd like to keep lemons. I convinced you to get lemons because I can't. I don't have the space for them, and you're quite happy with that choice. To be fair, lemons are such an underappreciated fish. As soon as they get fired up, that bright yellow is so nice.
Yeah, agreed.
I quite like the is it the Nanostomus amaya, like the super red pencil fish? They're pretty cool. Very expensive though, I believe at the moment. I think my local fish shop had them at £45 for one. So yeah, maybe not right now, but one day.
Yeah.
Wow.
And that's the thing. Everyone wants that. Oh, I've got that fish. And I'm just, again, it's a bit similar with my coral tank. I'm like, £20 brown coral, please. Like,
yeah.
I just, and then people are like, oh, you know, like that's going to overtake your tank. I hope so. I hope it goes mad, and I hope it fills the back of my tank with a big wavy brown coral. Love it.
Yeah.
Natural look. That's the best way. Natural is better.
Absolutely.
I'm gonna duck out of this one.
Cheers, Alex, for dropping in, man.
It was a brief appearance.
But hopefully I'll be there for more of the next one.
Absolutely. See you soon, dudes.
Yeah, Alex.
Rowan made an appearance, so it's all good.
The seventh scapegoat.
See you later.
Cheers, mate.
Yeah.
I don't want to kick him. Do I need to kick you, Alex? No, he's gone.
He's gone.
I felt mean. I don't want to kick someone.
So what was the question? A common fish that we'd like to keep.
Yeah, a common fish that you've not kept that you'd like.
A common
to
fish
keep.
I've not kept that I'd like to keep.
Yeah.
You might be surprised at this one. So black neon tetra.
Yeah.
Nice.
So like I've always seen them. I've always ended up going for smaller tetras in bigger groups. But I'd love to have like if I maybe had like a 300-litre one day or like a big tank again. I would love to keep a huge group of them and see what they're like schooling and everything. Maybe have some sort of bigger fish that keep them on their toes so that they school a bit better. But yeah, this one that I've never kept. And when I look at every time I see them, I go, oh, they are really nice.
Yeah, I agree.
Would you say gold tetra is common?
As in, what, the one with the parasite infection?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that sounds horrible
not
to
really.
people in here if you're not aware of it, but it's just like essentially it's a silver fish if it's been captive bred, but in the wild you get a parasite that triggers something in the scales and essentially they get a gold shimmer on them.
I can't remember if I read up on it right, but they were talking about it being linked to making them show up better in the river because certain parasites need to go through like a bird into a snail, into a fish, into a bird, into a snail. And they were talking about it being something so that the bird can actually see the fish. So the parasite is making it more visible in the water.
Wow, that's interesting.
Yeah. But obviously, there's those like funguses and things that make bugs climb up trees, isn't there? So like, it wouldn't surprise me.
Oh, them like weird worm like parasite things that get inside praying mantises like give you the heebie-jeebies.
Yeah.
They're just yeah.
Yeah. So it wouldn't surprise me if the gold is to try and like, for the fish to get picked out in the wire or in the thing. But I wouldn't say gold went through a stage of being really popular. And I haven't seen them for ages.
I was just going to say,
seen them in shops just sitting there because, like, I remember they were popular for a bit because I think that article or a video was released on them speaking about it, and then it just died off. And then every time I go in a shop, I'm going to get a schoolfish, and I'm like, oh, okay. And then I'll look around and I'll find something else and end up leaving at that. And then every time I'll go home, I'll be sat there and I'm like, why didn't you just get the gold tetra? I don't know why. I just always last second go, no, I'm not gonna get that. I don't know why. I need to or want to. I don't have enough room.
Yeah, fair.
Get that seventh tank.
Seventh tank. Everyone's rolling.
How far are you away, Adam? You got one ready? Are you?
I'm one tank away. I need.
I know you're one tank away, but where is it going? Have you got space for it?
I do. I have space on the bottom of the rack or in between the 215 litres.
Hang on, you just set up a shrimp tank, so surely that doesn't count.
No, the shrimp tank was just a rescape.
Yeah, but that doesn't count. You're back down to 5.
Yeah.
You're Adam 7 fish tanks. If there's no fish in it, it doesn't count.
He's done you there, mate.
Adam 2 shrimp tanks.
If anyone wants to help out with a 7th tank, you're more than welcome to. Need to find it. Talking about common fish, a honey gourami common. You can have that conversation. Yeah, I finally got myself a pair of honey gourami for the first time in hobby. Same again with another common fish, golden white clouds. Everyone looks at them and goes, meh. But like, I'm really enjoying them. I think Matt's video on like that hole in the wood where you had an airstone really convinced me about white clouds.
Yeah.
Really,
they're a great fish. They're brilliant. And again, like, what are they? A couple of quid each, sort of thing, and tough as anything.
Inexpensive. Really
tough
nice fish.
as anything. Yeah, I miss fish like that in a way.
Just your bog standard, what you'd find like 10, 20 years ago that is just looked over today.
So Ems is dropping everyone's links into the chat. So if you do want to go follow any of the guys that you see, you know, you don't have to follow Adam 7 Fish Tanks because he's only got 5. But
I think Mia's trying to get me to propose to her. She's just rocked up with the mac and cheese triangles from Mackey's. Oh my word! Thank you. I'm not eating on that. I promise.
Oh, not this again. Not this again.
What?
Get ready, screenshot everybody.
No.
The TikTok
we
live.
definitely need more screenshots for more merch.
We can see you. We can see you. You can see you. You're not kidding anybody.
Fair
How
one.
far through the topics are we?
What's
It makes
that?
it worse.
How far are we? What?
Topics are we? Have we got any more topics, or have we done all of them?
I don't know if you. What did you have? I thought you had another topic, didn't you?
Let me tell. We had oddballs. We had dwarf cichlids. We had tank cycling.
Yeah.
What else do we have? Shall we have a look? Let me check.
Do you know what I was surprised at? Talking of like, Ben Official has just noticed your shirt at M's.
He joined a bit later.
Yeah, he's only just noticed. One thing I found surprising at the escaping event was how many people were interested in the background of YouTube.
Fair.
Like, I was surprised by that, how they wanted to know like how it works and how you get paid and what do you do, and like it was just interesting. I think it was really interesting to see how many people had an interest in YouTube. It was weird.
I think a lot of people like I said to you on the day were quite interested in you and like yourself. Obviously they were interested in seeing the skate. I think they're on the floor in the bedroom. The whole people like the idea of seeing you set up the tank, but they were also interested in what you've been up to, what the ins and outs of like making a video and then like working with brands and then like the politics in terms of like YouTube in itself. It's not like this whole mystical thing, is it? It's like we just kind of you wing it until it becomes normal for you, and it really, and then like you'll be able to pass the knowledge eventually.
Do you know what I think part of it is though? Is that Matt's journey's been quite public, obviously being in MD's videos and everything as well. And he's very, very proven, like quite publicly, how you can go from like an everyday person working in an everyday job to being super successful as a content creator in the aquarium hobby. And I think people find that really interesting because Matt's proved that to everyone else that if you put your mind to it and you put the hard work in, you could do it too. And he genuinely and I'm sure I speak for all of the rest of us in this as well, like Matt's probably part of the reason we feel we could all do this as well, because he's shown us that journey and taken everyone that watches him along for it.
Absolutely.
100%. Yeah, I've got to agree.
It is. It's as with anything. It's just what time you put into it, isn't it? I've spent hours and days and weeks behind the scenes listening to people talk about YouTube, and some of it you can take on board and some of it you don't, and it's an absolute like crazy world, but you do have to just put yourself into it, and if you find something that doesn't work, you just don't do it again, and if you find something that works, then you keep going with it. And I think like I was on a YouTube video call the other day, and I do appreciate like you find something that works and you stick with it, but for me, that would get boring. If I found like, setting up a 60 litre or a 30 litre better tank or a marine tank every week, if I found that was what was getting the views, I think I'd get bored eventually. So I need to swap it and change it and do something different. And that's why I do what I do, I guess.
I completely agree with you there, Matt. My channel, a lot of people that in here that support my channel have probably found me through shop tours, and like shop tours will always be a feature and a part of my channel. I do enjoy them. It's great promoting a small business. It's great showing a shop off to people that may have disabilities and they can't make it, or it's great just showing people that shop and like they want to go and find somewhere else, and it gives them that inspiration, or maybe they see something in the shop. It's like a great thing for the overall hobby doing them videos. However, sustainability wise, I don't drive. I'm getting the train 4 hours that way, or bus an hour and a half that way, then got to walk half an hour and then finally get to this little shop in no man's land. It's like it's great. I love it. Can I do it all the time? No. Would I wish I could do it all the time? Yeah, but it's not also what my channel's about. I love doing a bit of everything and having that variety. And I think I can speak for most of us. We're all kind of in the same wavelength that if it makes sense and we enjoy it and it brings a bit of serotonin for ourselves, then it's what's worth it and what makes it.
Yeah, agreed.
You've got to, I think, for your own benefit as well. I know from a content perspective, you want to put out the best possible content for your audience, but from your own perspective, you want to be doing different things. You don't want to be doing the same thing over and over again just because it works. It has to be enjoyable for you as well, because at the end of the day, it's still your hobby. So as much as you enjoy the content creation side of it, it's still your hobby. And at the end of the day, here's Minx prowling. We all enjoy keeping fish. We all enjoy aquascaping, plant keeping, pond keeping, shrimp keeping. It's, it's all part of your hobby. The content creation is an extension of that. And if you don't enjoy what you're doing in your hobby, then you're not going to enjoy the content creation side either, if that makes sense.
That does massively come across. If you hate what you do, just no point. If you're forcing yourself to do something, there is no point.
There was a point last year where I was near burnout. I think I was on burnout. And like I'd been doing review after review after review, and I just kind of got a bit burnt out in that time period, because although it was maybe appealing to my audience at the time, for me, there was comments starting to show up, and people can tell, they're able to see if you're not enjoying it, it's apparent, and if your heart's not in it, there's no point. And like, I think the reason a lot of us are doing what we're doing now is we're hobbyists that are like kind of extending our hobby into content creation and showing people that we're passionate about it, we enjoy it, and like we may be in different areas of the hobby too. You've got who's really passionate about the shrimp and knows like all the ins and outs of the Neo-Caribbean and Caribbean, although he has ventured and kept fish too. You've got Jay, who's got, who's just set up ponds, and you're quite passionate and into your ponds as well as your short form content, your tanks. You've got Adam, who's just set up a Malawi tank that's doing really, really well. Yourself, Matt, too. You obviously, you've worked in a fish shop for a lot longer than all of us have probably been in the hobby combined. And like,
disgusting. How dare you?
Sorry to make you feel old. But like you've kind of branched out, and I remember our conversation when we first started messaging or talking to one another, is that you were saying that you felt like this is a way of helping the hobby more so than being in the shop, because you can reach more people.
Yeah.
And I think that's what like makes this worth it for like myself. I feel, and yourself, I'm sure it's the same with the other guys too.
Exactly. That's what I want from this. I've got a platform now. If I can help some, hospitals get free fish tanks, if I can help people succeed at fish keeping, that is pretty much what it's all about for me. Like, as long as I've got a roof over my head, that's all I need. I don't need anything else. As long as I've got like 20 fish tanks and a roof over my head, I can keep creating content.
As long as I've got 20 fish tanks.
Yeah.
I think, to be honest as well, it's like you can't please everyone all of the time. You can please some of the people some of the time. And I think like it's important to mix up the content, again, for your own sanity, and to make sure that you're not getting bored and everything. Like, as content creators, we got to make sure that the stuff that we're putting out, we put our full effort into it. And if you're not enjoying that, then you can't put your full effort into it. And then if your full effort's not going in, then you're not delivering the right amount of material, information, and advice in your videos and everything. And the thing is, if like you guys that are all watching us, I'm sure you'd agree, every content creator that you probably watch here on YouTube or on TikTok or wherever, you probably don't like every single one of their videos, but you connect with that creator that you watch on enough of a level that the stuff you do like, you'll come back and watch. So it's not always about making sure that you please every single person watching you all the time, but just making sure that the stuff that you do get out is relevant and useful to everyone in the hobby, to help the hobby move forwards as a whole anyway.
I just saw a very true statement as well. Said that trouble with YouTube and the aquascaping trend is people no longer look to keep their fish for the entire life cycle of that fish. They're missing out on watching the fish and the tank evolve. And it is true. Like, so the 2 tanks that I've got there that you can vaguely see the red one, they're like a year and a bit old now. And I was like, oh, should I shut them down and get rid of them? And I'm like, no, actually, I'm just going to drain them a little bit, pick them up and move them into the fish garage, because I do need to regain some of my house back now that I've got this space to film in. So like, it is true though. It is like, I think that's what's great about having a platform, is that you can start showing people how, what, where, and why, I think.
Yeah, it's definitely something that you see a lot more of.
Sorry.
I thought my dog would come running downstairs then.
Yeehaw!
That was Minx.
Plot twist. Yeah, I think people, like the comments said there, you're missing out the full life cycle of your fish, and that's one of the most important, well, not so much important to maybe some people, but it's one of the most interesting parts of keeping fish. You get to see them grow, especially if you've bred the fish yourself, for example. You get to see them grow from this tiny little fry to this fully grown species displaying these stunning colours. It's like the group of blueberry tetra, the first group I got, they were tiny when I first got them. I made a short form video and they were tiny, they were just silver, and now they're full size, fully coloured up, stunning. And being able to see that from the beginning to now is just, it's part of the hobby. It's great.
Yeah.
It's important too as well, because some fish, like you said, if you don't give them the time, they won't be able to display the behaviors that makes it worth getting that fish. There's some, like you said, the tetras, they'll fire up. Like lemon tetra will take a long time from like a small size to the adult size before they start getting that predominant yellow. Same with the blueberries. And then there's some fish that won't breed until they're a certain age too. So the infamous one, as we all probably know, is zebra plecos. They don't breed until they're like a couple years old, and then it's again a whole different ball game. But that's the challenge, and I think we're kind of in a vicious cycle, the social media cycle, in it, falling victim to wanting to, if you got your limited space, you want to rip it apart, rebuild, go again. But then at that point,
you know
then
what?
you lose your enjoyment for it.
The thing is, with that, what I don't get about that is, like, I find the maintaining and the pruning, the trimming, the maintenance of a tank, I find it really therapeutic. And when I see videos of other creators pruning back their tank and replanting it, I actually find that really therapeutic and I really enjoy it. And I don't understand why that's not concentrated on as much as setting up a new tank, because sometimes that is just as good content-wise.
It doesn't get the same hit. It does not get the same hit. If I wanted to make money from my channel and just physically was like, yeah, money, it would just be tankscapes. Because you look at, like, you just got to go through my videos in the last like few months. I've done one on biofilm that's like a really important educational video that loads of people have been asking for, is on 17,000 views. But like 2 weeks before that, it's like my fish going into my dream tank is on 44,000 views. Setting up the shell dweller tank is on 46,000 views. Whereas all the informational videos in between of how to keep the fish or how to play, like how to mess around with the plants, they're all 10, 11, 13, 16. So that's why it's just not as exciting to people. People can do the maintenance, and I think people can do the maintenance at home on their own. They can do that, whereas they can't set up another tank and another tank and another tank, and they can't set one up for, I don't know, blind cave tetras, and then they can't set one up for pea puffers because they don't get to do that at home. Whereas if you've got a studio with 20 tanks in it, like here, I could. But it is so important to have that information so that people can do what I'm doing too.
Yeah. I 100% agree. Like, the great thing, and I guess the luxury that you've got with having a studio, is that you're able to showcase them fish that people may not show any interest to. Like you said, blind cave tetra, that's like a cool one of fish that people are just walk past and go, oh, it's some like white light looking fish that's like a bit frantic, but they're super cool. Like the reason they're blind is because they're from a cave where there's no light at all, so they don't need to see, but they feel, and then they'll eat. Like if you throw a bunch of bloodworms in, you'll see them like piranhas. It's great, but then like you
everything
said,
they swim into, they bite. That's what they do. Is that edible? No.
And that's where you learn that they're not the best communal fish to have.
Yeah. But I think that's why it's important for me, and I enjoy doing the educational stuff. I really do, and I enjoy seeing people succeed, and they message and comment and say, "Oh, that's really helped me." And like, there was a couple with the biofilm video that were like, "Oh, this has come at the perfect time because I'm struggling with this, that, or the other." So yeah, no, I think it is good to do all of that stuff, and the more people we can get into it, the more people there is, the more money there is in the hobby. Yeah, it's just better for everyone, isn't it?
I think every video you do as well is like it's like a moment in time. So if you've got because I did this myself, like when I went out and decided I wanted to get a 100-litre tank, I got the tank and then I started to research what I could put in that tank rather than the other way around. So then anything that I was looking at, I was looking for ideas for that particular tank, and that was like a locked moment in time that I never went back to after. So like for me, obviously I started my channel and it was all about planted tanks because I referenced sort of MD and viewing all the YouTube videos about that. So a lot of people that followed me initially were following me because of planted tanks. And then now that I've done the Malawis, a lot of people have gone, well, actually, we're not interested in that so much because we're interested more in the planted tanks, or they maybe don't have the space to have a bigger tank where they could have Malawis. So yeah, I think it's like you say, you can't sort of please everybody. And it's every video you do is like a snapshot for that audience in that moment, really, and it can always be sort of come back to at a later date as well. So yeah, I think it's good to do a variety of videos. I think rather than sort of put yourself into a specific category, because at some point you're going to appeal to somebody.
Yeah, 100%.
I think a good way of describing that is no video you put out, no matter what it's about, how long it is, no video that you ever put out will be a waste of time, because there'll always be somebody that will watch that video and take something from it. Even if it's just a short 10-second bite of information, there'll always be something that someone will learn from that video. And that is the main thing. If somebody can learn something from your video, great.
I've seen a few comments in the chat that were talking about like what's my plan for the future, and will I move to a studio, and will I do this, that, and the other. Yes, like there is an ultimate goal, there is an ultimate plan, whether that will ever come off, but part of that ultimate plan is this starting group of people and having this starting of, I don't know, being able to promote the hobby. So yes, some form of studio, but it'll be open to the public. So some sort of shop/studio. Don't know what it is yet, but we'll see. Like there is some definite pros to having a hangout space where we can do some cool stuff. And these North versus South challenges that everyone's talking about, we do need to get together a few times, I think. I think there's some definite fun to be had there.
I would love for there to be a Scape Goats HQ.
How cool would that
be?
What, like an Avengers tower in the middle of the UK?
I want it to be like Thunderbird's Island, though.
You got to like ride the dolphins to the islands to actually get there.
Absolutely, yeah. I think, do you know what? And that I think is the exciting thing with this, and what the future could hold for the hobby now that social media has been sort of accepted in the fish keeping world. It wasn't always accepted in the fish keeping world. And I think social media is now being sort of brought into it a little bit more. So I'm hoping that the future will be good for that sort of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be cool, wouldn't it?
Definitely opened up more to the internet as a whole. It's at the end of the day, I think people are starting to see it more as a learning resource.
Yeah.
Which is, it's something that's useful to everybody. You can search for a website, find the bit of information that you need, and that's done in 5 seconds rather than you getting a book out and flicking through the pages of a book. You're done in 5 seconds. And that's the appeal, I think, to a lot of hobbyists. And some people, some people may prefer to use books as their main source of information, which is brilliant because I think that should always be part of it. But, there's pros and cons to each side, I would think.
Yeah, no, there definitely is. Definitely is. I saw someone comment, please all keep the educational videos. Absolutely. That will always be something that will be part of my channel forever.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm always going to educate on shrimp as well. I'll always try and put fun stuff in between to make sure it's not boring. But I think it's always important to make sure that, as well as showcasing the glitzy and glamorous side of the hobby, you're also showing people the hard bit and the not so glamorous bits and the bits you've actually got to put the work into, because there's a lot of channels out there, and even in some of our own videos, it's easy to give this false perception to those starting it. It's all easy and plain sailing, and there's no hardship. And it's really important for everyone coming into it, no matter what level you're at, to see what can actually happen when things go wrong.
You know what? And that's some days, and I saw someone say something about, I'd love to see a video of a day in the life of, and I would love to do that. It's definitely something I want to do, but it is surprising some days where I've got to do a job. I'm should be filming this for content, but I just want to crack on. I just want to clean it. I just want to get it done. I want to get the tanks moved, and then I'll discuss it in the start of the video, but I can't, because it takes so much time to mess around with camera angles and move your camera around to make it exciting. And there's no point in just sitting the camera at the back of the room and just constantly streaming it. It's not gonna be a good video. So is there any point in making that video? It's such a difficult game to play.
It's difficult. I found the hardest part since starting YouTube and content creation is that I've lost that part of the hobby slightly when wanting to set up a tank. Because I could, if I wanted to set up a fish tank, I could probably get it done in an hour or a bit over, depending on the size.
Yeah.
But now when you're recording, said 15 litre yesterday, it took me hours on end because I'm turning the camera around. I'm doing this. Oh, it's got to be right. Got to move this over. Got to get pan over. And it's just that. I filmed. I noticed how far gone I was when I was filming with Joe to do the collaboration on the 90 litre. And I kept telling him, stop, I need to record you from this angle, pouring the sand. Stop, this side, this side, this side. And he was like, mate, I just want to get on with it. And I'm like, we need it for the video. He's like, oh. Yeah, it was frustrating for him because he does aquascaping as his hobby for his own personal enjoyment. And then, I do it for a mix of both.
And do you know what? I hate, that's a very harsh word. I don't like using it. I dislike filming with those people, because you'll turn around and you'll grab your camera and you turn back around and there's 6 bits of wood in the tank and 3 rocks and the soil's been poured in. You're like, no, you need to stop. You can't do that without me filming. You really can't do that without me filming.
You had that, didn't you, in the shop with with Owen? You had it with Owen in the shop, didn't you, when you were trying to film his Scape?
Yeah, Owen was a nightmare. He was actually, to be fair, he was a nightmare for the first hour. And then after I'm like, no, I need to film that. He then started asking me, do you need to film this? Yes, I do. So yeah, it was quite funny. It was quite an interesting one. I've just seen a cool question. Has anyone here ever scaped for other people or for companies?
Yes.
I have, but How difficult and what was it like for you?
So I've set up for a customer. So they come into the shop and we had a great chat about Blueberry Tetra. And then like, I was like, I've got a YouTube channel. And then like, he went home, he watched my channel, he come back in, he was like, do you do aquascaping services and all that? And I was like, well, I can have a chat with the boss and see if that's all good. And I ended up doing it on my own accord. But like that pressure of like, oh, I'm setting up for a person now. I need to make sure that this is good because like I'm getting paid for it. I'm not just doing it for myself now. So I set up that tank and they were super happy with it and really happy with it. They were like really like appreciative of that. But like the difficulty was, or actually no, it was quite easy because they'd watched my channel. They'd allowed me to film the whole setup. So that setup is on my channel, Dragonstone Valley or something, I think it was. It was a bit of like if I'd improved that tank or set up, as to say, I'd probably make it higher. It was quite low for how tall the tank was, but it was a nice scape, and they were happy with it regardless. But it was, I'd like to do more of that if there's any opportunity. But it's yeah, for you, Matt, I could imagine it's crazy, like that giant tank that you done a few weeks ago, a month back now. That I would get lost if someone asked me to do that. Even if they'd offer to pay me, I'd probably be a bit scared.
See, that one was quite easy, to be fair. That one was really simple because like every bit of wood fitted. It's so simple and so easy because it was like you chuck a bit of wood in, you're like, oh yeah, that wedge a rock under it. That was really simple. And the guys that were running the show, that run the shop, were really chill and just let me get on with it. You know, what do you want to put in it? But then you get other ones where, like not wanting to be that person, but there's a reason I'm here. There's a reason you've asked me to do it. Leave me alone to do it, because they'll be halfway through the scape and they're like, can we put an Oscar in there? Well, no, because I'm planting it up at the moment because you wanted plants. And it does become a problem when there's other people trying to get involved, and I think they've just got to let you get on with it, and otherwise it just doesn't work. My best ones are where the company or the person just lets me crack on. Just leave me to it. I will make sure it looks good. We've talked about it. I know what you want. Just leave me with it.
Yeah, I think that's where I was fortunate. He kind of gave me free. Like I said, have you got a budget? He gave me a budget. I worked within that budget and had complete free reign to do whatever I'd like. I even was allowed to film. I really enjoyed that, and I'd love to do that again. Speaking about comments as well, we've just received a comment saying, is there any smaller YouTube channels that you like to watch or have been watching? Yeah, I'll start off first before it goes out my brain. Have you ever heard of the Tiny Menagerie?
Nope.
So it's a lady that she never shows her face. I think she might have once in one of her earlier videos. And she's done a lot of like fish profiles, and that's like her only content that she does. And she's brilliant. She doesn't upload very often. She's really good, educational. Not like a huge channel. And then alongside her, another smaller channel that some people may know of through Aquarium Co-op is Dan's Fish. That Dan's Fish, I like him because he's got an entire I think his fish warehouse, his business is like built in or like connected to a river, so he gets a fresh supply of water coming in all the time. And he's got loads of rare species and like new species that are coming all the time. And I like watching him just because he does a tour around this warehouse, and I'll be able to like pick up and see new species of fish, or fish maybe that have been in the hobby for a long time that aren't rare but I've never heard of. And that's my way of like digesting a bit of information about results.
Yeah, to be fair, I now that you said Tiny Menagerie, I've just literally Googled it and I remember her now, and I have followed her. I am subscribed to her, but like, to be fair, like I don't watch much. There was someone that came across my page the other day though, and I'm not going to be able to remember their name. And I have literally been talking about, I'm not going to say what it is. I've literally been talking about doing a project on a certain thing for months. And when I went to practical fish keeping on the road down in Cornwall with Alex, I discussed it with him down there and talked about this project. And it's like, I don't think anyone had done anything similar. Like, it wasn't going to be a big video, but it would be quite a fun video. And then this random channel posted a video and it came up on my feed and it is spot on to what I was going to do. And I mean, down to it's not in a fish tank, and the glassware that he's using, well, I say he, they, I didn't watch the full video. I just saved it for later. But the glassware that he's using is exactly the same as mine. The idea, the concept behind it is all the same as mine. The only difference is his video is like 6 minutes long, and I was going to be like a 25-minute, like proper setting it up from day one sort of thing. But yeah, I did. I don't get to watch much YouTube. I don't sit down. I like all the YouTube I watch is generally from YouTube creators trying to like teach you how to do YouTube or telling you about new results or new things. Oh, Ems is back. Hello.
The dogs are calmed down now.
Hello. Yeah, Yorkshire terrorists, aren't they?
So yeah, anyone else on small YouTube channels?
Small YouTube channels, I think, are sometimes the best channels.
Yeah, no, but who do you watch?
Who do I watch?
Yeah,
I can't think of any. I don't know. Are there any that is? I don't know.
Scape Goats. There you go. The small channel.
That's a small channel.
I tell you what. The best small channel that I watch is Adam and Seven Fish Tanks.
Yeah, he's a good lad, isn't he?
Apart from the fact he doesn't have 7 fish tanks.
Yeah, that Adam 7 fish tanks guy, he's amazing, but I'm Adam 6 tanks. So, I'd love to meet him.
I never really, when I look at a channel, right, I never look at how many subscribers they got or anything. I see the video, I like it, I click on it and I watch it. But you can tell by how edited the video is and by how cut the video is. And I feel like when you got a smaller creator that's maybe newer in it, they kind of don't cut out as much. You get more of a true representation of what the hobby's like when you watch him, and I really appreciate that like realness to it more than the like. I still enjoy a really good scape. Don't get me wrong. I enjoy a good scape that cuts out all of the like filler and everything, and it's just about look how amazing the reds are, look how cool this rare fish is, and it's just straight to the point. That sometimes is what you want to watch, but other times like that realness of when you have a creator who's putting parts in a tank and they're talking to themselves saying, oh, I'm going to put that there. And then they do it and they go, oh, that doesn't actually fit there. I can't get it from this angle. I'm not going to be able to do that. Like, I appreciate that realness because that's what all of us go through.
So interestingly, I have found recently that like, so this is YouTube working in my brain, and also me having to obviously, you know, the whole game of YouTube is for you to get more people to watch your channel, like, and watch it for longer. But I have found that actually not cutting all that stuff out and leaving it all in and talking through the entire thing of why I'm thinking, oh, I want to prop that rock up a little bit, the retention and the views are way higher.
It's because it's relatable, isn't it?
Yep. And I like that because I can talk through it. I can say, oh, I'm washing this rock off because it's covered in dust. Whereas, you know, normally you'd have washed them all off and you'd start putting them in straight away and just not talk about it.
100%.
Yeah. You can over-edit a video quite easily.
Yeah.
And I think it takes away from the realness of it because at the end of the day, how many times
Everyone's gone.
are you
Everyone's back.
filming the same clip? You know, we've all had that conversation. How many times, sometimes, are you filming a clip over and over and over again? Because you either say the wrong thing, you blurt out some absolute alien language, you do something wrong or drop something, or you know, anything
you said
like
your
that.
classic filler word for the 40th time in the video.
Oh, don't.
Exactly.
So,
you know.
Package.
You know.
Mine is so or but at the moment. But
mine is so.
It does my head in.
Next up is a good one.
Next up. Yeah.
Yeah, it is. And do you know what? And a lot of the time people won't notice. There'll only be a select few people that will notice. But you notice. When you're watching yourself back, you notice.
You watch it in recoil.
Yeah. So
it might almost be funny, you know, and maybe I'll do it in one of my future videos, is whenever my filler word comes up, I might have a so counter down at the bottom or something.
Someone commented on mine yesterday that was like, I'm gonna take a drink every time Matt says "but" or something like that. He said, "But all joking aside, great content. But I am gonna do a drinking game with you." I was like, "Oh, great, thanks." Yeah.
Yeah.
There's only so many ways you can start a sentence, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. It depends on your dialect, where you're from too. If it's the people around you, like the one thing Scousers use all the time is like, and like I've had to drill that out of me.
It's good for YouTube though. Leave a like.
Like. Yeah. So here, like, that looks like, but like, yeah. So you just the amount you'll probably see my videos that you see where I've cut so, because I'll go so, and then there'll be a pause before I'll go on to my next thing. So then like it's a bit janky on the cuts or on the edit now, because I've just purposely gone through my video and I've counted about 20 so's in 1 minute. Just get rid of that, and then like it just looks all janky and weird then. But I'd rather it look messy than have me say so 20 times and someone say, let's do a shot roulette game to this.
Yeah.
But yeah, any more topics, everyone? Anyone got any more topics in the chat before we continue on or potentially
did see a comment before. Somebody said about a live at Aquah next year. That could be interesting.
Did one. We did one, but a Scape Goats one would be cool for sure.
Yeah, I'm not sure who it was. But yeah,
I think there's going to be a lot for Aquah next year.
Oh yeah.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
I have heard that Reese has left though.
He has.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I messaged him the day after saying, I'm down for coming again next year, whether you want me there as a creator or maybe as a stand for my business and stuff. And he said he was leaving. He also said that there's not a chance that Adam's 7 fish tanks will be coming as a VIP next year either.
We all knew that.
Right, Adam, you can have my 2024. No, 2025. What year was it? You can have this one.
You know what? This is rubbed off on the audience. We've like Aquascaping artist has been like commenting for the past 10 minutes saying Adam 7 fake tanks and all that. Like it's now rubbed off on people. I'm gonna be getting comments on live videos now because of yous.
To be fair though, you give it as good as you get with Harry Kane at the top. So you know.
Listen, he's my striker.
Might be red card.
I think all of us as the goats would be in the same idea and frame of mind or whatever, that we'd want to do something special as a group for next Aquah, definitely.
Yeah. I think the full weekend is the first point of call, going all weekend. And there's plenty of opportunity for us to do things then, like a live from the event, or we can do, I know people were on about the possibility of social space or a live scaping challenge with various people and stuff like that. So yeah.
So we've had a few comments and questions I think we should finish up on, I think. So, first comment. Anyone there done Blackwater? Who's done Blackwater the most?
I've done it once or twice.
Yeah, same here. So, Blackwater aquariums, tips and tricks. We've lost our Blackwater man has had to go and need to his family. But I would say just research your botanicals depending on what you want to do. I like Alex actually has been using some better tea bags recently, which I quite like the look of. But really, Blackwater, there isn't many tips other than, I don't know. What is the tip
for it? Well, so I would say if you go in Blackwater, you want to understock your tank and have really good filtration, because you're not necessarily going to have that advantage of having loads of plants, because the Blackwater will stop your plants doing as well in most cases.
But then you say that Alex had that tank that had it was low stocked, but hardly any filtration because it was mashing up all of the bugs and the microfauna.
Interesting.
So I think Blackwater, there's no one right way of doing it.
From my experience, Blackwater, it can like Em said, it can limit the growth on some plants. So you're probably looking for tougher, hardier plants. Be prepared to have good filtration, like you also said too, because with the breakdown and decay of waste, that's going to be in your water column, which is great for your fish and all the microorganisms and stuff like that. But that will get in your filtration, and you will be having to clean that out quite frequent. You'll end up with like this sludgy stuff inside your filter.
But then surely a filter that doesn't kick it up is better.
Yeah.
So like a sponge filter or a slow-moving filter, so it doesn't pick up that leaf litter.
It just depends really on what that's okay. Well, depends on like what tank you go for and like how you want it run. But
the reason they're Blackwater is because they're from slow-moving areas, and the water's not washing the leaves downstream and it's disappearing off. That's why you find like a lot of the zebra plecos and things like that. They're actually from clear water with very little leaf litter.
I think I'd probably say be prepared for with Blackwater as well is the increased chance of algae, because the nutrients in your water column, you're more likely to get maybe BBA or maybe just like hair algae and stuff like that. But again, if you're looking if you're looking for the naturalistic look, then you're probably going to get all that stuff. And like you said in your workshop, Matt, having algae and stuff like that visible, a part of that Blackwaterish setup is cool. It just depends on who you are, if you like that.
Anyway, also Blackwater.
So I did that. I did that beta tank, and what I found is that, the first thing to start with really is if you're looking for a pristine tank, obviously Blackwater's good for you because you're always going to have to build up as normal.
Adam, you're quiet again. Why are you quiet again?
Am I quiet?
He's about to cut out, isn't he?
Is it okay now?
I've turned you up on my end.
That's better.
Okay. So, what I was saying is that obviously with a Blackwater tank, you really need to be aware, obviously, that it's never going to be a pristine, clean tank because you're always going to have that build-up of norm in there. But I found that with my beta tank, that there's been times when I've not really cleaned out my filter that much, and it's almost like gone to a non-existent flow, and it's been absolutely fine. There's barely been anything going on in there other than just the vector in there, and it's been absolutely fine. So it's a strange one. I quite like them, but I can see why a lot of people might shy away from it because it is a bit more messy, I suppose.
Yeah, it does look messier. And I quite like, I think we've covered that mostly. I quite like the next comment, which I've lost it now, but someone said, what is your best tip for making better videos? Like creating better videos for your YouTube channel. What's your best tip?
Audio is key. Audio is 100% key. Like you can have bad image quality, but you will never be able to recover from bad audio. It's a thing that I learned from uni and other things too, that like something can be unbearable if the audio is poor. So invest in a mic is my first shout. Get a decent mic.
100% agree with that. And even like on TikTok's where I do most of my content. I'm moving on to YouTube now, but I noticed a massive jump in like how much engagement I was getting on my videos jumping from just your phone microphone up to a proper quality like content microphone.
Yeah.
If you're looking for a cheap one, DJI Mini. Yeah.
There's a better one than that. Sorry, like for a better entry price. It is called Hollylark, I think it is, or Hollyland Lark. Hollyland Lark. Just for anyone, if anyone is looking to get into their content, it's cheaper than the DJI. It's probably not quite as good, but it is more affordable.
And also,
Hollyland Lark.
Probably
tripod.
I was just going to say that tripod, camera angles, ties in together. Tripod for steady footage.
Yeah.
Camera angles.
Don't bother with a gimbal.
Yeah, honestly, the gimbals I don't use anymore. I really don't use them.
You've been all right. You've been all right since the start.
He's on a laptop, that's why.
I'm on my laptop. I didn't even bother with the gimbal because it was just going to go.
And then creating better content for me, the biggest thing that I found was buying how many do I have? 3 or 4 different places to put my camera with quick releases on them. That is my biggest thing that I found. So I've got 2 main tripods, 1 gorilla arm thing that you can wrap around things, and then I've got another like massive like boom arm that I can attach to things, and all of them have got quick releases on them, and being able to move my camera and click it and click it and click it and click it all around my room without having to undo my tripod and lift it up and undo it again. Such a great thing. My favorite thing I've ever done.
Seeing your setup in person, and you explained that to me. You had you even have to pull out drawers as well, where you can just literally like wrap around and you're ready to go. Like that's really cool. I'd like to try and do something like that eventually.
Do you know what my favorite thing, like expanding on that with Matt's setup, is like with all these different camera angles. I hope you don't mind me saying, Matt, but like
I know what you're going to say.
In person, I walked in and I was like, it looks way bigger on the videos. What the? I was like, that's crazy.
Yeah.
It looks like twice as wide. It looks twice as tall. Like with all those different camera angles, that room looks humongous. And actually, when you're there, like it's not small, but there's a lot in there, and it is tight. Even now on the camera, it looks like it's going to be huge.
Oh yeah, no, I can pretty much like nearly touch that tank behind me.
But yeah, camera angles is a huge thing. Like, yeah, definitely agree with that.
Well, I think have we covered most bases? Have we seen anything else come through?
I think that's it now.
Ems does have botanicals on his website, but you got to try and get his website to work first.
Yeah.
My
website's working. It's a flaw in the user interface.
Yeah, it's a flaw in Ems. Where are the fancy dress costumes? We were all too scary enough. Thoughts on sandy substrate depth and anaerobic layer? I don't like anaerobic layers. They scare me. I always try and keep it quite shallow. And if I'm trying to build it up, I don't use sand. I use gravel to try and let a little bit of water flow through there. And then the last one I saw... Oh, no, hang on. Em, are you going to try and breed your own strain of shrimp?
Yes.
There we go, done.
That was easy.
It will be Caradinas.
Of course it will. What colour are they going to be?
Who knows?
All right. And then there was one more I wanted to answer, and I hope they're still in here, which was what are your thoughts on well water compared to town water? And I think the way I'd answer that is every single water source is different. We had customers that had well water that was coming with phosphate off the scale, and like every time they poured a bucket of well water in their tank, the BBA just went poof and just took over. They're still here. So it completely depends. Other well waters are absolutely clean and pristine. You can get a lot more metals as well, and like different minerals building up in well water. And Rainwater is another one that loads of people use that I really don't like using because of the variables in rainwater.
Yeah, it's one of them, isn't it? It's a difficult one, I guess.
I think you've just got to test it and have a look.
Yeah, exactly. I think that's probably the first point of call. I wouldn't personally. We've got a water pot in the garden, and I wouldn't personally use that on anything but plants.
I use my water for my nature pond. No problems in that. Like,
yeah,
you know, I don't think there's going to be too much issues. But you know, last year this year we had Saharan dust come across in the rainwater, and like, if that's going into your water butt, then what minerals is that putting into your tank, or how soft it is, or yeah.
it's quite a broad topic. That where my mum lives is very similar. The water is ridiculously hard because there's only 3 or 4 houses on the water source, and it is literally like a hole in the ground. And that, as a water source, the water was ridiculously hard. Like, keeping a lot of species of fish there was ridiculously difficult.
Yeah.
You were stuck to a very limited source that you could keep successfully without losing them after 3 or 4 weeks.
Everyone gone quiet. Done.
Yes.
It was a large silence, wasn't it?
That was a hell of a loud. That's it, everyone. Night, everyone. Goodbye.
Absolute cinema.
We were just in awe of your perfect explanation there, Jay. That's all it was.
I wouldn't call it perfect. I'd call it far from perfect.
That's deep, that, man.
That's deep.
So,
okay.
What are we saying? 14 minutes time? Should we
I reckon so. Do we go 2 hours 30? Is everyone good with 2 hours 30?
We can do.
Yeah.
We can do
Shall
a
we
quick.
just absolutely blast through some questions from the
quick fire.
from the audience?
Quick fire.
Yeah, Adam. Quick fire. I'm going to get my gong ready.
Yeah.
Get the countdown clock for him. Hey.
There was one.
Anyone that has got any questions?
There's one in there. Is having a UV filter beneficial to aquariums?
I would say so, because it makes the particles of the algae in the water sort of like bond together. So like it's easier to remove the algae, or like just, yeah. Whenever I've had UV, I've had less problems with greener water. It's been easier to just keep it clean.
Yeah.
It's good. Better for fish health too. I've noticed less problems.
It's vital in a pond. that's my.
I would agree.
Stop the green water. Hashtag stop green water.
It's not something that's definite. It's not something that you definitively need, but it does help a lot of things. But if your tank's ticking along without it, then go with it.
Best cleanup crew for better fish. Funny enough, I had this dilemma the other day. I got myself
Colombian ransom smells. You'll have nothing left.
Nearites now. That's what I've chosen.
How will you celebrate the goats reaching 1 million subs?
If we reach 1 million subs on the Goats channel, I will buy Adam a 7th fish tank.
I think by then I'll probably have a 7th.
It might be a 77 fish tank by then.
Yeah. Well, that's a shout. Next show, whose channel and when? I don't think we knew we were doing this one until like last Thursday.
No.
Don't lie, we didn't know we were doing it until flipping Saturday, mate.
Yeah, it probably was Saturday, wasn't it? We'll get something booked and we'll advertise it a bit better. We're still in our infancy. We're still learning. Oh dear.
It's a learning curve. It's an enjoyable one.
Yeah, but no, I think going back to the better one, I think You've just got to make sure it doesn't fit in their mouth. A lot of the shrimps, like a lot of the smaller shrimps, are just a no-go for most betters. But I have kept cherry shrimps in with my betters. But yeah, you need a big colony to make sure that you're sort of outnumbering the better and you're keeping him well fed. Amanos do all right normally in my tanks with my betters, as long as your better's not a psychopath.
Never
Yeah,
a guarantee.
I think it's 50-50 personally. Every better I've had has absolutely hated shrimp. Sorry, Em.
No, they do. They do. They
I've
look at
never
the
had
ratings.
one that has lived harmoniously with shrimp.
Sometimes they're all right with the bigger ones, like the fully grown ones. But like Matt was saying, I think as long as your better can't keep up with the number of babies, like number of shrimplets being bred, the thing with shrimp is they don't live very long. So you've just got to make sure that the number of shrimplets that are surviving is adequate to keep the colony going. Otherwise, the colony will just fizzle out.
And then
Adam,
we've got...
you.
I'd like to ask if I can add a couple of dwarf cichlids. If I have a bristlenose pleco with hair fry and Corydoras on the bottom, 110 litres. If so, what cichlid can I add? I think
I'm going to say a dwarf Flagakara, because they're quite, even though they're though they're a cichlid and with breeding behaviour they can get a bit aggressive. I've noticed with them, like compared to Apistogramma cacatoides and Agassiziis, even though they will defend their area, they are a lot less feisty even when defending than some of your Apistos are and everything. So you might find that they just have a better temperament to go with other fish.
I think you're on the cusp of 110 litres. I think it's one of those things that if you get a really like narky territorial Apisto, you might have a trouble. But another one that would be probably, I reckon, would work would be like a Bolivian ram would be quite nice.
Bolivian rams are good.
I really want Bolivian rams again though.
That's...
how often and how much do you feed your fish?
Oh, that's a whole different ball game.
Pretty much every day for me. But that's because I work here and live here, so like it's easy for me to maintain them.
I do mine every other day.
I mainly feed once a day. Once a day, I'll feed like everything in that one moment, so the fish know what's to come and like they'll know when to feed. So it's got them in a bit of a schedule.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, I feed mine 6 days a week. I pack them usually on a Saturday or a Sunday, and just as much as I'll eat really in a few minutes. Obviously, like with my Malawis, I'll just keep eating and eating and eating, so I can give them a lot more. But yeah, generally just like a couple of pinches. Yeah, 6 days a week for me.
I love that there's a firework display happening outside.
When me and Ems were driving back from Birmingham, or driving through Birmingham, there was a block of flats next to the motorway, and someone was setting off fireworks at the bottom of the flat, and they were exploding. I don't know, on the like 20th floor, maybe. Like
it was like a war zone in there.
Yeah, it was
That's probably what we saw.
We were driving past and we thought, well, I think we seen a shooting star, and then the rest we were just seeing like fireworks, like firing from like either side of the motorway. Like, what me and Jay were like, are we gonna get hit?
Yeah, it was pretty crazy. What else have we got here? Recommended plastic feature cichlid.
That's. Do you know
Which was that one?
Oh, that's really hard. You know.
What was that? Sorry.
So I'm going to say it again. I'm going to keep saying these guys because I think they're massively underappreciated, and like you could go for a group of Dwarf Flagakaras, Laetakara curviceps in a 150 litre easily, because you can keep them in like big groups as well. They don't have to be in pairs. And I think they'd look wicked and behave really cool in a 150, because 150 is a bit too small for like a group of angelfish. You wouldn't really want to have one or two angelfish on their own. Some of the bigger cichlids, they're not going to be really placid. I can't think of any of the bigger cichlids that are that placid.
keyholes maybe, but 150 litres, once they get a bit narky and breeding, then yeah.
That's it. And then if you were going to have angelfish, you've got to have 6 minimum, really. And for that, you'd be looking at like what, 180, 200 litre minimum.
Yeah.
I think a really big group of dual cichlids would do just fine in there.
Great. That'd be lovely. Don't listen to Adam.
I'm kidding. Don't do that. Don't do that. I seen a pair of dual cichlids bullying arowana. They're feisty.
Yeah.
Adam 7, terrible tank advice.
Someone's just asked me if I work at the shop. No, I don't, unfortunately. I can impact a lot more fish keepers' lives by doing this than...
Well, technically he did the other day.
It's literally this morning, actually. Yeah, I did for about 25 minutes. But yeah, no, it's no. Dolphin, cichlids or frontosa. Yeah, perfect community inhabitants.
Do you ever find yourself when you're in the shop though? Like I found myself, even though I don't work there anymore, that like I felt myself like drifting over trying to help customers and have conversations, and then you start like going to pick up a net and you're like, hang on a minute, I'm not getting paid for this.
I don't do that so much, but I will start like looking around and like sometimes facing up.
I feel like that's a habit you just sort of inherit if you have any retail job ever.
I've walked into retail shop every time I walk into the Lego shop, because I used to work there. I'll go over, and the rule is if there's a box that's been taken out from the front, you bring them forward. And I've walked in there to visit my old colleagues, and I'll just start bringing boxes forward as I'm talking to them. I'm like, hang on a minute, what am I doing? Straightening things up, doing it. I'm like, hang on a minute, I'm not on the wage bill.
Yeah. I do it in supermarkets, exactly the same.
You just find yourself in Tesco and
mate.
you're like bringing the tikka masala forward.
I'll take a pack of like fusilli out of the shelf and I'm like, right, whole box forward, come on.
I don't know if that's just manners though.
No, that is, if you've worked in retail, it feels way more normal.
The Rowntree's randoms are never safe.
I'm just scrolling up real quick.
For the guys that worked in the shop, what's the most strange fish-related request that they've made to you? There's so many I've had over the years, but like I remember one lady came in and asked for a pool fish, and I was like, "Pool? Yeah, like the name pool. Do you have any pool fish?" I don't know what a pool fish is, not a clue. And I'm racking my brains, and she's like, "Well, we call it pool. So, what have you got? Any pool fish?" No. Anyway, it turns out it was a pleco, but her husband called it pool, and so she thought it was called pool, but it wasn't.
Close enough.
We had someone come in, and I feel like I'm walking on thin ice here. They asked for a gender neutral fish.
Yo, dicey territory, Adam.
Yeah, all I'm saying is I was like, I don't know how to answer that. Yeah, that was like a strange request. I was like, I don't know why.
Did you give him a snail?
No, I know.
There's a challenge who can build the best Lego aquarium scape.
That could be a good. That could be a good shout.
Can you not just buy that new one?
Fish tank. The new Lego fish tank says tropical aquarium or something like that, and it's clearly
dislike
a marine
it.
Tank.
I dislike it.
It's like 400 quid as well.
Yeah.
What? Go and buy a fish tank.
It's 400
pounds.
Someone's dropped something about a severum in there that I'm not going to read, but that's fine.
Yeah, no, I saw that Lego fish tank, and one of the companies, TMC, done Lego like fish years ago, and they were really expensive. They were like 50, 60 quid each. And I couldn't ever bring myself to buy them back then. And I looked, and they're not even real fish in this Lego fish tank, or not like.
Well, I'm looking at the Lego fish tank right now.
So the both of them Both. So they released one year
It's
ago.
a marine tank, and
Yeah, it's a marine tank. It's called like
aquarium.
tropical fish tank, and it's £400.
But it is in theory. It is in theory. Oh dear. Hang on, I need to retype that, and I'll show. Yeah. Anyway, Lego fish tank. Yeah, there was a couple of fish in there that was like maybe vaguely real, but most of them were not.
I'm just
It's like
No.
when you see the Breaking Bad camper van adverts on TikTok. It's definitely not Lego.
Yes.
Well,
anyone that's ever watched Breaking Bad, you've probably seen that in your For You page and TikTok. I see it on a daily basis.
That Lego fish tank upsets me deeply.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Overstocked.
Fish. It's not the right size. You know what? For the price of that, you can just get a real fish tank in it. But then people's argument would be like, oh, but it lasts longer and you don't have to feed them. I'm like, well,
they do one that's only £25 and it's considerably worse.
Oh yeah.
Why am I surprised?
I love it.
Maybe I should get in touch with Lego and see if they'll do a Somerset Shrimp Shack tank.
Oh yeah, I've seen the smaller one now. Yeah, no, I dislike that as well. At least there's real fish in there. Those are vaguely real fish.
This big.
There's a clownfish, there's a regal tang, there's a Bangai cardinal and a yellow tang. At least they're real.
Tell them their big tank is overstocked.
Perhaps Adam's sixth tank could be a Lego tank.
It would get done considerably a lot quicker. On that note, we've hit 2 hours 30.
It's been emotional.
It has been emotional.
It's certainly been emotional.
Much love to everyone who tuned in. We don't know when, where, how, who, or what the next one will be, but it certainly will be. I think is probably the easiest way to say it, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely.
I think so, yeah.
Excellent. All right.
Absolutely. Spot on.
Much love, everyone.
Perfect.
Right, I don't know what I'm pressing. Am I pressing end? Are we done? Are we finished?
Yeah.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, everyone.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Take care.
Call of Duty Live, sold, yes.
Battlefield.